Glad to have you with us on the Deuce.
You ready to go?
Let's do it. It's time to drop the hammer for the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Here comes the surge. They'll be side by side.
The reason why everything's working for Willie.
He muscles him up and out of the groove.
Closing in on the outside.
They just avoided disaster there.
Contact!
Rooting down from there. And it all breaks out.
The big one! That's how big it
A
is!
huge incident.
They need to get back on the track.
We've got 4 cars side by side all battling out. It's now a 4-horse race.
Door handle to door handle drama. 3 wide as they come to the white flag.
It is absolutely dead level at the front of the field.
An unbelievable finish.
Absolutely stood up in the seat and was counted for there.
In the NASCAR Xfinity Series, names are made here.
Tonight, 4 drivers stand on the edge of greatness, but there's something even bigger in the air. This is the final race for Xfinity as the title sponsor of this incredible series. All 4 drivers have their eyes on the ultimate prize, but only one will walk away with the trophy and take home the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. This race isn't just about the past, it's about the next chapter, the next wave of stars, and the future of this incredible sport. Let's take a look at your 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship 4. Connor Zillage, JRM. Carson Quaffle, JRM. Justin Allgaier, JRM. Jesse Love, RCR. 200 miles, 200 laps separate these 4 drivers and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. 4 drivers, 1 track, and everything on the line. It's time for the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship 4 final race.
And it is championship level atmosphere tonight at the Phoenix Raceway in Arizona. Tonight, it is indeed the final race of the NASCAR Xfinity Series season. A lot of finals going on this weekend and tonight as 4 final drivers compete for a championship trophy across 200 laps and 200 miles around this entertaining and unique Phoenix 1-mile bull ring. We welcome you to the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship race on JB Motorsports and USRN2. And hello, one and all, I'm Matthew Owens, and welcome to Phoenix. Thanks for having us in for the race. JT and Jack here with me, and we're not going to waste any time because this is an awesome atmosphere here tonight. Phoenix has done such a great job hosting championship weekend in NASCAR, especially post-COVID. Of course, the first year we were here for championship weekend was 2020. Every year since then, we've had large amounts of fans, and it has put on a championship-worthy weekend. And tonight, the Xfinity Series season comes down to its final race, and JT, it has been a magnificent Xfinity Series season. Stars have been born this year, and tonight another champion will be crowned. We will either have a first-time champion with Connor Zillage, Carson Quaffle, and or Jesse Love, or we'll have just the 7th back-to-back champion in the history of this series in Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, hello everyone, welcome along. So, the stage is set, and three-race ceremony is just wrapping up here in Phoenix. A lot to play for here, and who will take the final NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship with the title sponsor Xfinity on the trophy. Of course, we go to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, or the NOAPS, which is definitely going to be a mouthful to say, or we could just start calling it Nopes, because, yeah. But we had some news about the NASCAR, didn't we, Matthew, with all of the age limits and the Cup Series allowing some couple of extra races going into next year.
Yeah, Cup Series drivers eligibility now opened up. They'll be able to run 10 races in this series next year. They still won't be able to run in the playoff races. That was
or the regular season finale.
Correct, yes. That announcement was made earlier today, and the age limits have been changed, and of course that'll be talked about during the off season and before next season starts. But Jack, tonight, all about crowning a champion and leading this great season to a crescendo. Let's talk about these four drivers to start. I think it's a very eclectic group of drivers. You've got Jesse Love, who started the season by winning the season opener at Daytona. He's finished top 10 in all three Xfinity Series starts at this racetrack. You have a rookie in Carson Quaffle that has not won this season. His only race here was earlier this March. He finished 26th, but he's been able to avoid the landmines of the playoffs and make the championship four. Those two are decided underdogs tonight. And then you have the seasoned veteran Justin Allgaier, who won the championship last year, and Connor Zilisch, the young phenom that's won seemingly half the races this year. That's how it feels like. Went on an incredible string of 18 straight top fives at one point this year. And is the future of this sport. Those are our four drivers tonight, and it's an eclectic group for sure.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting group of drivers. You've got four of the younger guys, the up-and-comers, like Carson, like Connor, like Jesse. And then you've got the veteran, the defending champion in Justin Allgaier, who is my personal favourite to win this championship, by the way. I think this is one of his single best tracks in recent years. I think he's definitely got a good shot at it. But I also think Connor Zilisch is pretty strong here too. I mean, he finished 4th here in his first ever Xfinity race around the track. Didn't do as well in the spring, but everything can change in the championship race. And he was the highest qualifier, I think, of the championship 4. So maybe he's got that speed back.
Has 10 wins on the season and arrives to this finale looking for a championship. And JT, of course, we're back here for a championship race at Phoenix, just as we have been, as I said earlier, since 2020. And we were here at this racetrack last night to crown a Truck Series champion in a race that gave us what seemingly every Phoenix race gives us now, which is a track position dominant kind of race. But if it comes down to a late restart, restarts here are as chaotic as they are anywhere else. And last night on an overtime restart, we saw 7 trucks wide for the lead in turns 1 and 2. If it comes down to a late restart tonight, as it did last year, all bets are off.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had 7 wide yesterday. How many wide will we see today? And, well, to note, that was 7 wide with space for at least 1 to 2 more wide on the outside, depending on how tight they wanted to get. So there is possibility for more. We'll just see if we get that today here in the Xfinity Series. Just for note, the CW will be going completely commercial free in the third and final stage if you're watching along with us. That is because basically, to put it to make it easy for you to understand, Xfinity have paid CW a lot of money probably, so they show that final one commercial free. But this is also a special occasion, not just because of Xfinity leaving, but because it's the final race, Matthew, and you will absolutely love this, where we hear it's as fast as Xfinity.
Yeah, we'll see what they come up with next year to replace that. But yes, as fast as Xfinity Mobile, absolutely.
I don't think as reliable as O'Reilly
reliable,
Auto Parts
yeah.
will work.
Drivers getting strapped into their cars. It's also, of course, the last NASCAR race that we will have for you on USRN2, which we will a lot more of that kind of celebration to happen tomorrow for the Cup race. But we are excited to bring this Xfinity Series season to a close. Now, Jack, you talked about Justin Allgaier earlier. This is one of his best tracks. He's won here twice. That number could easily be 4, 5, 6 wins at this racetrack. And he could have won this race a year ago in a late race restart. He stormed to the lead. Riley Herbst came around him in the final corner to win the race. Allgaier put up no fight at all against Herbst because all he needed to do was finish second behind him to win the championship. So Allgaier, as you say, really, really good at this racetrack, and that's why a lot of people are fancying him to win this championship tonight and repeat.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to bring up the fact that I think Sam Mayer definitely would have been a contender tonight. He would have been driving that same car that Riley Herbst drove to the win last season, and what I thought was a pretty dominant performance from him. Sam Mayer obviously not here today. He is suspended. The surprise of probably nobody here. He has been suspended for wrecking Jeb Burton after the checkered flag. I think Allgaier, big contender for today. I think he's got the experience. He's driven around this track more times than pretty much anyone else on the grid, other than maybe someone like Jeremy Clements. Let's get to the command, though.
Years of racing. Now, guys.
Drivers, start your engines!
And was given by Chris Buescher, Daniel Suarez, William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Austin Cindric, Daniel Hemrick, Ty Gibbs, and Cole Custer, all of the champions of this series in the era that Xfinity has been the title sponsor of course, minus Justin Allgaier, who was in his car to start said engine. So,
Should have had a
indeed,
mic.
fired. Yeah, they could have given him
I should have had like a remote mic so he could do it as well.
Matthew,
Yes.
was that Chris Bush or was that Ryan Preece? Because after yesterday, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, it may have been Ryan who snuck in there to give the command. So the command given as we get ready to go. Mention that only 7 drivers have ever repeated as Xfinity Series champion. Sam Ard was the first to do it in 1983 and 84. Then Larry Pearson also was a back-to-back, what was then Busch Series champion, Busch Grand National Series champion in 1986 and 87. Randy LaJoie did it in 96 and 97, and then right off of him doing it, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 1998 and 99 went back-to-back. Then Dale Earnhardt Jr. was the owner of the car that did it next. Martin Truex Jr., a back-to-back champion in this series in 2004 and 2005. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., driving for Jack Roush, won the titles in 2011 and 2012. And just mentioned Tyler Reddick giving the command. He's the most recent driver to win 2 straight championships in this series, doing it with 2 different teams, driving for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Kelly Earnhardt Miller in 2018, and then in 2019 while driving with Richard Childress. So that's what Justin Allgaier is trying to do here tonight across this 200-lap race for the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. With the engines fired, JT, shall we do the grid?
Why not?
So, starting grid for tonight's Xfinity Series Championship race, Brandon Jones on the pole. Gibbs Toyota's always good here at Phoenix. He put his Gibbs Toyota on the front row along with another one, Taylor Gray, last week's Martinsville winner, starts second. Sheldon Creed rolls off from third alongside Connor Zilich, the highest qualified championship 4 driver. Right behind him are 2 of his championship rivals in row 3. Justin Allgaier, twice a winner here at Phoenix, as we mentioned earlier. He's made many laps around this racetrack, and they've all been pretty darn good. This is his 31st Phoenix start. Jesse Love, who's been top 10 in all 3 of his Phoenix starts, is right alongside. Now, Eric Almirola, interesting story with him. We'll talk about that more as we go on. He starts in row 4, flanked by the winner from Atlanta in the summer, Nick Sanchez. Dean Thompson from Anaheim, California, has had a really solid season for Sam Hunt Racing, is in row 5 with Ryan C., who makes his 399th career Xfinity Series start. He does it with the Haas Factory team, filling in for the suspended Sam Mayer. The Burton cousins, Jeb and Harrison, start 11th and 12th, ahead of Justin Bonsignor, who drives the number 18 for Joe Gibbs Racing, filling in for Williams Gawalett, who still suffers from concussion-like symptoms after a crash a couple of weeks ago at Talladega. Carson Quaffle, the slowest of the 4 Championship 4 drivers in qualifying, starts 14th. Row number 8, Corey Day, the 19-year-old from Clovis, California, for the Rick Hendrick team, alongside Austin Hill. Remember that name tonight, too. Kyle Sieg in row 9 is next to Sammy Smith, while Parker Retzloff is in the 10th row alongside the ARCA champion Brendan Queen from Chesapeake, Virginia. He won 8 races and the championship in the ARCA Menard Series this season. Christian Eckes, rookie driver from New York, starts in row number 11, driving for College Racing, their last, for now, Xfinity Series race as a team. He's in that 11th row next to Connor Mosack for Viking Motorsport. Blaine Perkins is 23rd on the grid next to Brennan Poole. Leland Honeyman is with Josh Palicki in the 13th row. The 14th row is Anthony Alfredo and Nick Light. Jeremy Clements from Spartanburg, South Carolina, completes yet another season in the Xfinity Series. Starting from 29th on the grid, he's next to Ryan Ellis. Patrick Emmerling from Western New York starts 31st alongside Pennsylvania driver Garrett Smidley. Daniel Dyes starts in the 33rd position tonight. He's next to Stephen Parsons, who, of course, was up front late in the Truck Series race last night. He's from Cornelius, North Carolina. Glenn Reen is in the 18th row next to Joey Gase from Iowa. And in the final row, it's Josh Williams alongside Dawson Graham, rounding out the starting grid for this NASCAR Xfinity Series championship race at Phoenix. It'll go 200 laps, 200 miles tonight to settle the champion. 38 cars on that grid, 27 Chevrolets, 6 Fords, and 5 Toyotas on the grid. Race record was set by Elliott Sadler in March of 2012 at an average speed of 116.3 miles an hour. Now I'll shut up, JT.
There is no way you time that to absolute perfection of 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
I try.
How?
I don't know how I try, I just try.
I didn't even have to fade the music down early because it faded itself on the backing track. Anyway, cars out on track, and, well, we're looking forward to 200 laps, 50 laps more than we saw yesterday in the Truck Series. And I'll shut up so you can give us a bit more of a preview, Matthew.
Yeah, 200 laps, 200 miles. The first 2 stages will go 45 laps each, which means the second green and white checkered flag will fly at lap 90, leaving us 110 laps, about 100 green flag laps for the final stage. Pit road speed, 45 miles an hour. This is one of the trickier pit roads in all of NASCAR. We'll talk about that if we have to throughout the night, especially if we have green flag pit stops, which we don't expect to see any. If the spring race was any indication. Speaking of that spring race, Eric Almirola scored the victory. Justin Allgaier looked to be heading towards victory late. Caution came out. We had pit stops. We had a late restart. Eric Almirola beat and banged his way past Alex Bowman to the checkered flag. Speaking of Almirola, Jack, and we can roll Austin Hill into this too, similar to last night, you have the 4 drivers going for the Drivers' Championship, but you have 2 teams, different teams, that is, trying to win the Owners' Championship tonight. Eric Almirola driving the 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing, and Austin Hill in the Richard Childress Racing number 21. They can win their teams the Owners' Championship tonight if they beat each other, plus Connor Zilich and Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, I'll try and keep track of the owners' standings throughout the race. We'll see what's happening. I'm just honestly quite thankful we've got. This should be what I will. I'll make a tribute to the whole Xfinity series first, actually, before I say anything about the playoffs, like possibly being gone next year. But just the Xfinity series has brought us some incredible moments, in my opinion. My personal favourite, I think I would agree with the voters. I think that my favourite has a moment of the Xfinity series. Briscoe beating Kyle Busch at Darlington. Like that, or maybe the 2021 Bristol finish. But Xfinity's done an incredible job as a title sponsor, and I'd like to thank them for all their work in making the series as fast as Xfinity Internet.
I will warn everyone now and expect more Xfinity puns as the night goes on, because it's the last chance that we can do them. So, sorry, not sorry for that.
They'll be coming as thick and fast as Xfinity Internet.
I tell you, yeah. Field is coming to get the one-to-go signal behind the Toyota Gazoo Racing Supra pace car. A couple of Toyota Supras will lead the field to the green. As I mentioned, Joe Gibbs Racing has a tremendous record in this series at this racetrack, and it is two JGR cars on the front row in Brandon Jones and Taylor Gray. Of course, Gray doing a phenomenal job, scoring his first career victory in this series last week in Martinsville. See if he can go out on the season going 2 for 2 to close it out. Brandon Jones has a couple of wins this year, too, at Darlington and in Kansas. But it's all about the championship tonight, JT. 4 drivers: Connor Zilich, Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love, Carson Quaffle. One of them will write their names forever into history as an Xfinity Series champion. It's going to be a tremendous race all night long.
It definitely will be 200 laps around this 1 mile circuit. You do the maths, that's 200 miles. The final NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship race before it becomes the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Matthew, it's time to get the green flag for the final time as Xfinity.
So here we go on this first day of November 2025 on an 88-degree evening in Phoenix, Arizona. The field comes to the green flag. It's time to drop the hammer in the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship race at Phoenix. The 2 Toyotas lead the field into the dogleg. Everyone will cut it on the way to turn number 1. Hard braking into turn 1, where Taylor Gray on the inside drifts up. Brandon Jones around his outside will slingshot his way off of turn 2 to the lead. Gray falls in line second. Connor Zilich is third. Now Gray, by the time they get to turn 3, he'll cut it to the inside of his teammate Jones, making an assault for the lead, but he can't get it. Brandon Jones leads lap number 1.
Down through the dogleg we go once more, and we continue round turns 2 and 3 and 4 as we head now down the back straight towards those turns 3 and 4. Still Jones, Gray, Zilich third, Creed fourth. It's Allgaier and Love side by side, 2 championship 4 contenders.
Yep, here they are, wheel to wheel out of turn number 4. Jesse Love off the top of turn 4. Justin Allgaier to his left elbow through the dogleg. These two door handle to door handle for the 5th position. Second in the championship behind Connor Zilich at the current moment. Zilich just ahead of these guys, feeling some pressure from Sheldon Creed as they swing up out of turn number 2. Zilich stays ahead of Creed. Allgaier has a nose ahead of Love under braking to turn 3 into the shaded area of this racetrack. And that is a story at the start of this race, isn't it, Jack? That through the first 50 to 75 laps or so, when these cars come off of turn 2, they'll be heading down the back straightaway and straight into a bright sunball before they get to the very tricky entrance of turn number 3.
Yeah, Creed's just made the move on Zilic, so he is up to 3rd place. Yeah, I can't. I was noticing that. Like, how am I supposed to see in that? I am sorry. I've got the sun blaring at me through the screen, man. Literally. Like, how are the drivers going to cope with this? I'm struggling to see the cars when I'm on Eric Amarola's onboard. How are the drivers supposed to see? That's my question.
Allgaier has cleared Jesse Love, and now he sets his sights on his young teammate Connor Zilic. Brandon Jones leads. This is the 14th race of the season that Brandon Jones has led in. Jesse Love has fallen victim here to Eric Almirola on the assault on the entrance to turn 3. Almirola right around the bottom to the inside of Love. He gets a bit loose as Almirola washes up the track, stays off of Love. Love tries to pinch him down in the dogleg. They are nose to nose heading towards turn number 1. Love puts his nose now out in front. Almirola digging deep on the bottom, JT. In fact, Almirola cut it all the way below the yellow line on the apron. Tries to get the drive off of turn 2. Can't do it. They're still side by side to 3.
Still side by side in towards turn 3 we go. Almirola still on the inside, Love on the outside as we cut to a replay. As Almirola just got the position and we need to see that tiny bit of contact while they were making a move. Well done, CW.
Yeah, if there was contact, it was the slightest bit of contact you can imagine. These two are still side by side out of turn number 2. Love keeping it wound up around the top. He's got half a car length up on Almirola on the way to turn 3. Meanwhile, just ahead of those two, as Almirola takes it to the bottom of turn 4, Love got loose, and that'll allow Almirola to finally complete that pass, moving up into the 6th position. But just ahead of these two, you've got Connor Zilic and Justin Allgaier. Nose to tail at 4th on the racetrack, about 2 seconds off the lead. Allgaier's to the inside of Zilic out of turn number 2. Slingshotting off of the corner, down the back straightaway. Nose-to-nose action here between the teammates. Diving into turn 3 hard on the bottom is Allgaier. Puts those left side tires slightly on the apron. He and Zilic, wheel to wheel across the start-finish line, back through the dogleg and heading to 1. And Jack, the question is, how nice will these teammates race each other tonight, especially as we get later into the night as they race each other for a championship? Allgaier's going to complete the pass here, though.
Out as nice as you can get until the final lap. That's when the gloves come off with teammates. I mean, I've seen it before with teammates. I mean, hopefully we don't have a RCR situation from 2023 between Creed and Hill. I hope that doesn't happen. But realistically, I don't think these guys will race each other too aggressively. I think they'll just let it play out for the most part. And then whoever's ahead is whoever's ahead.
Allgaier ahead right now, up into the 4th position. Didn't take him 10 full laps to make his way around his young teammate Connor Zilic. Now Zilic can fall back just a bit and go to school a little here on Allgaier. Zilic making his 3rd career Phoenix start. He was 16th here in the spring. At the pointy end of the field, JT, Brandon Jones feeling some heat from Taylor Gray. Jones climbs the banking in turns 1 and 2, keeps it wound up around the top. As they come off the corner, Taylor Gray is right in his trunk.
Yeah, he is. Battle for the lead then through the restart zone. We go, and Gray will pull up the inside. He'll go side by side and he'll clear him into the dogleg. They both decide not to cut it, and it's Gray in front.
So Gray, who scored his first career win in this series last Saturday night in Martinsville, rookie driver from New Mexico, storms to the lead here in Phoenix. Jones is still hot to trot on his back bumper 2nd. Sheldon Creed is in line 3rd. Then comes Allgaier and Zilic. Top 5 separated by less than 2 seconds here in the early going as Gray comes to the line to complete lap number 12. A reminder, 45 laps this first stage. Getting caught up in the comments here. Hi to everyone who's joined us. And, well, we're happy we're with you. Bob asking, is the CW broadcasting from Charlotte? They are not, actually. Everyone is on site for the first time in a long time, if you can possibly believe it. They weren't even on site.
They're doing better than Fox.
Yeah, they are doing better than Fox, yes. They weren't even on site for Martinsville last week, which is only about an hour, 45 minutes or so from Charlotte. But they have come to Phoenix. So, glad to see that. As we have had a change at 2nd, Brandon Jones starting to fall back a little bit. Sheldon Creed's gotten around him. Now off of turn 2, Justin Allgaier's trying to get to him. Allgaier to the left elbow of Jones, JT, heading to turn number 3. Looks like Allgaier's going to make this pass rather easily.
Yep, and he has already made that position. Has Allgaier. We are on board with Zilic, who will look to make that same move in towards turn 1 and turn 2, which he'll go up the inside. Jones on his outside. Zilic drifts up the track a little bit. He's still side by side. Jones got his nose in front, but here comes Zilic down the inside. Now he's got his nose in front, but he'll look to clear that 20 car through the restart zone we go, and he does clear, does the 88 car. Just a quick note, we will get the driver tracker to you when it starts working, if it starts working, and if it appears on the NASCAR website, because at the moment it isn't even there. So we will have a driver tracker as soon as we get it.
So WeatherTech Chevrolet of Zilic up to 4th, and now Brandon Jones is going to drop yet another position, this time in turn 3. Another one of his teammates, Eric Almirola, maneuvers his way by. Let's check in on Carson Quaffle further back. He was the driver of the championship 4 drivers, started the furthest back of any of them. He started 14th, Jack. He's made his way up to 10th. He's on the back of Dean Thompson.
Yeah, Carson, as far as I'm aware, this isn't one of his better tracks, but it's good to see him carving his way through the field, putting absolutely everything into this, and on the back of what I think's been a fairly underrated driver this season in Dean Thompson for the Sam Hunt Racing Team. He's clearly done good enough to remain with the team next year, so good for Dean there.
Waffle's going to make that pass on Thompson, or maybe not. Yes, now he does. He was going to try to slide up on the approach to turn 1. Thompson thought about keeping his foot in it, but didn't. So Quaffle up in the 9th position. You're right about Dean Thompson. He has had a very good season for that team. He will likely finish 16th in the season-ending championship standings tonight, unless he can make up 29 points on Ryan Sieg to move up into 15th. Speaking of Sieg, he's right behind Thompson in the number 41 for the Haas Factory team, running in the 11th position. Of course, Sieg, earlier this year here at Phoenix, was absolutely tremendous, charging up from 31st on the grid to finish 4th. A lot of people think he could be a contender tonight in that 41 car. This is his 399th career start in the series. He's never won, although he's come close many, many times. Taylor Gray at the front, working lap number 20, leads by 3/4 of a second on Sheldon Creed. It's then a similar gap back to Justin Allgaier 3rd. Allgaier has legged it out by about 0.8 of a second on Connor Zilic 4th. Eric Almirola is 5th, competing for the Owners Championship for Joe Gibbs Racing. Jesse Love is 7th. Carson Quaffle runs in the 9th position. And the other driver competing for the Owners Championship, Austin Hill, running in the 16th position. So that's where all of the championship contenders are running. But it's Taylor Gray, JT, that's out in front as we're about halfway home in Stage 1.
Yep, halfway already in Stage 1, so it does go by very quickly. And he's led 10 laps, has Taylor Gray, now 11 as he crosses the line. And he's pulled 8.5 tenths away from Creed in 2nd place. And then it is another 8.5 tenths back to Allgaier. And then 6 tenths back to Zilic as they are continuing to battle in. Here's Quaffle.
Quaffle, the underdog of the night in this championship, has not won a race this season, running in the 9th position after just dispatching of Dean Thompson. He's got about 2 seconds to make up to get to the back of the 8th place car. That's Nick Sanchez, and in fact he's already making up some of that. He's now just 1.5 seconds down to Sanchez. By the way, in the comments, we did have one earlier I wanted to get to. Yes, Graham Cook says, "Good morning from Australia. I need Connor Zilic to win." He is running fourth as we speak, and he also asks, what position does Zilich need to win the championship? Well, it's not a particular position. He just has to finish better than all of Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love, and Carson Quaffle. Those are your championship four. Highest finisher of those four takes home the championship. Speaking of one of those championship drivers, Jesse Love in seventh. Nick Sanchez is filling up his rearview mirrors here, JT, on the way to 3. Love in that number 2. Just trying to settle in here in this first stage. He knows that it's going to take a monumental effort from he and his team tonight to upset the JRM duo.
Yeah, as it looked like Sanchez was off the pace a little bit. He looked like he pulled off, but he didn't. He got, if there was any problem, he got quickly back up to pace, and that didn't really cost him that much as we head now round turns 4 into the restart zone and across the line as we continue to keep an eye on these two, Love and Sanchez.
Love back in 7th. What do you think on a scale of 1 to 10, Jack? What are the chances of Love or Quaffle upsetting those two dominant JRM cars? Is there a chance here other than, the other two just getting into trouble? Love has to thread his way through to the outside of Nick Sanchez and to the inside of a slower lapped car of Dawson Cram. They are able to avoid the 74. But what are the chances of Love or Quaffle stealing this one tonight, you think?
Fairly low, in my honest opinion. Maybe I'd go 10% on those guys. I think Allgaier and Zilich are going to be the ones to beat tonight. But goodness me, I was thinking that there was going to be some contact there between Sanchez and Love because of the lap car there of Dawson Cram. And that's not blaming Dawson Cram. He was well out of the way. I just think it was a pretty aggressive move to Sanchez to make on a Championship 4 driver, to be honest.
Sanchez has been pretty aggressive the last handful of weeks, and he and Love weren't saying many nice words with each other after the Las Vegas race a few weeks back. They're still battling away hammer and tong for the 7th position as they drive off finally into the shade of turns 3 and 4. Sanchez still trying to get it done on the bottom. Love topside just sends it in hard to the corner, then is able to cut it off the top of the banking on the exit of 4 and stay just marginally ahead of Sanchez. As they go back to turn 1, JT, Sanchez going to take it to the apron. And still, he's going to try to complete this pass on Love. They're wheel to wheel again off turn 2.
Yep, and he will clear him for now. We are looking at the 41 and 39. Of course, not Sam Mayer, but Ryan Sieg and Kyle Sieg. That's not going to get confusing at all. Battle for 10th. That is Bonsignor, by the way. Our update on him. He started at the tail of the field due to unapproved adjustments. He is now inside the top 20, up in 17th.
So Monsignor in that 18, driving in relief, if you will, to William Sawalich, who missed the race last week and again tonight due to concussion-like symptoms. Monsignor up into the top 20. Meanwhile, Sanchez has completed that pass on Love, so Sanchez up to 7th. Love backslides to 8th. At the front of the field, the leaders Taylor Gray and Sheldon Creed just put a lap on Josh Williams in the Alpha Prime number 45. And just to go back to that Sieg and Sieg battle there, Jack, that had to be very weird indeed for Ryan Sieg to be racing with the 39 car, the car that he's driven for so very long, for his family team, driven tonight by his brother.
It shows more that the car itself is pretty quick compared to the 28. I don't know where's the 28 running of Nick Lights. Okay, he's 20th. So fair enough, Nick's running fairly well. But I think that must be a really weird seeing the car you drove all season just passing you. Fair play to Kyle Sieg, because I think he is a decent race. I don't think he's like Ryan's level. Maybe he will be if he gains some more experience, that's for sure. But one thing I beg is, can we please get a Ryan Sieg win tonight? I would love that.
Yeah, everybody loves Ryan Sieg, and he's come so close so many times across nearly 400 starts. And perhaps one of his best chances here tonight, driving for the Haas Factory team. Of course, the RSS team, the family-run Sieg team, has an alliance with the Haas Factory team. Meanwhile, change at 8th between championship contenders. Carson Quaffel's gotten around Jesse Love, so Quaffel is up to 8th. Love down to 9th, so the 3 JRM Championship 4 drivers run 1st, 2nd, and 3rd as far as the championship is concerned on the track. That ends up being 3rd, 4th, and 8th. Leaders still picking their way through a little bit of lap traffic here as Taylor Gray comes over the line. We're down to 11 laps to go here in Stage 1. The lead that he has on Sheldon Creed is about 3 car lengths. Meanwhile, Kyle Sieg on the move one more time. He'll cut the dogleg here on the main stretch, get to driver's left on Jesse Love. Kyle under braking to turn 1, puts a nose ahead of Love. Just ahead of these two, Quaffel's on the move, trying to get around Brandon Jones for 7th. But JT Kyle Sieg has made that pass on Love, so another spot dropped for Jesse Love, and now another spot dropped by Brandon Jones, it would seem, as he gets loose on the approach to turn 3. Quaffel gets through.
Yep, drifts up the track. Quaffel gets up into 7th and has already pulled 4 tenths away from Brandon Jones. Back at the lead, however, it's still Creed chasing down Gray, and he's getting closer and closer, getting ready to pounce.
And, of course, Sheldon Creed's story is extremely well known, Jack.
Pain.
Is still looking for that first
He's in his favourite position right now.
Yeah, unbelievable how many times he's finished second without winning in this series. Maybe tonight's the night in that 0-0 car. Looking good here early.
He did finish second in 2023 at this very track. So
Yeah.
It is very much a possibility, finishing second to Cole Custer, the driver he would actually eventually replace. Oh, Jeb Burton!
Jeb Burton has a right front tire down, and he's hit the wall in turn 2. He's trying to get down through the face of traffic to pit road. He has done so. We stay green, at least for now, but that's a lot of damage to the right side of the 27 car. Jeb Burton, who made an absolute nuisance of himself last Saturday night in Martinsville, will come to pit road, and his season might be over here, JT, because that right front looks to be completely broken.
Yep. Just the only difference is Sam Mayer's not anywhere this week, but he will.
But
Sam Mayer's ghost has just taken over his tire.
I'm sure watching on TV right now, Mayer, and smiling.
Can I read out a Sam Mayer tweet quickly?
Oh, sure.
Hold on, I need to read out his tweet that happened, which quote, "On to Phoenix." That aged well.
Yeah. Boy, he hit the wall well before he even got to turn 1, did Jeb Burton. That makes me think he had a flat tire in the middle of the straightaway, and then he couldn't turn it by the time he got into the corner. And boy, cars going absolutely everywhere, left, right, and center to get around him. Connor Mosat did well, going about 15 feet below the yellow line in the corner to make his way through. So we do stay green with 6 laps to go in stage number 1. Carson Quaffel has fairly quickly bridged the gap to the back of the Nick Sanchez car. Quaffel could try to take over 6th here. Any position he can gain before this stage ends, still important, even though the Championship 4 drivers do not get stage points in this race. Any position you can gain, of course, gives you extra track position before coming to pit road at the end of the stage. So Quaffel, over these next 5 laps, JT, will likely try really hard to get around Nick Sanchez.
Yeah, absolutely. He's to his inside at the moment, and he's so low, and he gained so much time going down there. Here's a tweet for you from Stephen. Ryan Sieg gets passed by the driver subbing for Ryan Sieg.
So, Quaffel, boy, we've seen a lot of cars and trucks go very low in turns 1 and 2 here. Not many lower than what we just saw him. I mean, he was almost to the inside retaining wall, and he is again, as he's got to be circumspect about the pit attenuator down there. Got to get back up before you hit that head on, as he is working his way around the lap machine of Garrett Smidley in a very Halloween-looking number 14 livery, as Quaffel trying to set after Sanchez, and for that matter, Eric Almirola, who's just ahead of the other of those two. But at the front, Taylor Gray is been able to set sail here. He's led the last 32 laps, and he looks to be heading towards a stage victory, Jack, full of confidence after winning the grandfather clock at Martinsville last week.
I think he really needed that monkey off his back, just that first win, and I think he'll be great next year. Obviously, if he remains with Joe Gibbs, which I have no reason to suspect he won't, he's been I think his confidence is going to be up, and he's going to start winning more races. I mean, Taylor Gray, say what you want about how he got his start in NASCAR. It definitely helped the fact that his dad owned the team. But this guy is a legitimately great race car driver. Much faster than his older brother, Tanner, who's still in the trucks doing not much. But Taylor's been doing a good job. I've been really impressed with him. Look, there's Sheldon Creed just behind in his favourite position of second place. And he got a 16th runner-up position tonight.
Well, they just put a lap on Brendan Queen, and in turns 3 and 4, here comes Taylor Gray. Green and white checkered flag is waving. He wins stage 1 here at Phoenix. Sheldon Creed is second, Justin Allgaier third, Connor Zilich fourth, Nick Sanchez climbed up to fifth, Carson Quaffle sixth, Kyle Sieg seventh, Eric Almirola slipped back to eighth in the final laps of that stage. Then Sammy Smith coming home ninth, first time he's been in the top 10. As stage 1 comes to a close, third stage win of the year for Taylor Gray. As the caution now flies with stage 1 coming to a close, and now JT, pit road will be a busy place once it opens up.
Yep, but it's the end of stage 1, so 1st of November on this day in motorsport. A couple of people were born on this day. So, Matthew, take it away.
So, November the 1st, we had the Halloween edition last night. So,
Day of the
born on this day. That's
edition.
right, yeah.
That's this weekend, isn't it?
It is. So, celebrating a birthday today, turning 28 years old, is Brody Kostecki from the Supercars ranks in Australia. Michael Self celebrates a birthday today, born on this day in 1990. Who else do we have? Nick Schumacher, born on this day in 1975. Joey Clanton, wow, that's a name I hadn't heard in a long time, born on this day in 1972. Mike Franklin Jr., born on this day in 1970. Dennis Strickland, celebrating a birthday today. So too is Randy Smith, along with Fausto Morello, born on this day in 1940. Let's see, and also born on this day, Ken Miles in 1918. Did I miss any there, JT?
You got most of them. Yeah. So it was also you probably have this on the list. So I'll 2009. Do you have that one?
Oh, I do. Yes.
Awesome. I will let you take that through because it was the first Grand Prix for Abu Dhabi.
Yes, so let's go with the race list on this day in 2024, so just a year ago. Christian Eckes won a Truck Series race at Martinsville, the Zip Buy Now, Pay Later 200.
Amazing name.
Yeah, fabulous name. On this day in 2020, WeatherTech Sports Car Championship at Laguna Seca, Elio Castroneves and Ricky Taylor teamed up to win the Hyundai Monterey Sports Car Championship. Also, on that same day, very dramatic NASCAR Cup Series playoff race at Martinsville, won by Chase Elliott. He had to win to advance to the championship. He did win, and then he came to Phoenix and won the championship the very next week. Also on this day in 2020, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix at Imola, won by Lewis Hamilton. The one that, of course, will always stick forever in my brain. On this day, 2015, the 93rd and final win for a legend, Jeff Gordon, in the Goodies Headache Relief Shop 500 at Martinsville. That's the day, of course, where Matt Kenseth just drove Joey Logano straight on into the wall.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon won that race to advance into the championship race. Gosh, can't believe it's been 10 years. That is just incredible.
Also in 2015,
also,
Matthew, have you got you got that one with Mexico?
Yeah, Nico Rosberg winning the Mexican Grand Prix at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez.
First time since 1992, 2015, wasn't it?
That's right.
Was
Yeah.
Mexico's return.
Yeah. 2014 truck race, Nationwide Series race at Texas, won by Kyle Busch. 2013, the truck race at Texas, Ty Dillon actually won a race, if you could possibly believe it. On this day also in 2009, Formula One in Abu Dhabi, Sebastian Vettel winning the race and the championship. And also on that day in 2019, the NASCAR Cup Series at Talladega, the Amp Energy 500, Jamie McMurray got the win for Jack Roush. Martin ended up flipping over in that race. I think Ryan Newman did too, if memory serves. That was pretty much the end of Mark Martin's championship chances that year. 2008, another nationwide race at Texas, won by Kyle Busch. 2003, Busch Series right here at Phoenix for the Bashaz Supermarket 200, Bobby Hamilton Jr. scoring the victory. And we will quickly head to pit road as I'll hit the pause button, and we'll get back to this after pit stops. But let's go to pit road because it is open and it is a busy place.
As Taylor Gray gets his service, we go to Dylan Welsh.
And there was a lot of discussion on the two-car Jesse Love. Ultimately, what they settled on for adjustments was just to help Jesse with his front turn and help his forward drive. That's exactly what they said their advantage was earlier in the weekend. They'll make a chassis adjustment. Justin Allgaier reported he was tight center and lost side bite as they ran. Kim?
You see Connor Zilic, bottom of your screen. He said a little snug, tight center, exit of 2. Feels like my right rear is hot. Asked for an air pressure and chassis adjustment. Top of your screen, Carson Quambo said, still a little tight, said tighten it up, but not too much. Balance is coming around. I don't want too much change. That is close to perfect. Just a slight air pressure adjustment for the one.
Race off Progressive Pit Road. We talk about the advantage of the #1 pit stall. Quapple does not get it done there. They fall way back. Zilic comes off second at +2. Creed and Allgaier each lose 1.
Bean sent something by Seth on Twitter about this as fast as Xfinity Internet.
Yeah,
now,
I just pinged you with that.
Yeah, Seth on Twitter just forwarded it to me and Matthew. And on his Instagram, Parker Kligerman revealed saying something is as fast as Xfinity Internet pays $600 per mention.
Oh my god.
$600 per mention. That's insane.
Well, I'd like to say this broadcast hopefully will go by as fast as Xfinity Internet.
Yes, indeed.
Can someone, I don't care how long it takes you, but can someone find out how much Xfinity have paid the drivers over these 11 seasons, 10 years? So we get the number. Please, and thank you.
Has to happen. Yes. I'll wrap this up here. 1998 on this day, the kart finale at California won by Jimmy Vasser. They called that finale just the 500. Nothing else. No, it was the 500. Yes. Also on this day in 1998, the Japanese Grand Prix won by Mika Hakkinen, as Murray always liked to put it.
That was when he clinched his first world championship, wasn't it? That race.
Yep. Absolutely was, as he beat Eddie Irvine and David Coulthard to the finish. Of course, Coulthard, was that the year that Coulthard was trying to win the championship from him, or was Schumacher? When did Schumacher get hurt? Now I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, Hakkinen did win the race and the title to win that Japanese Grand Prix, and also on this day in 1998, another champion crowned in the NASCAR Cup Series AC Delco 400 at Rockingham. Jeff Gordon won his 12th race of the year, which clinched him the championship. He ended up winning 13 races that year. Also on this day in 1997, Truck Series race here at Phoenix. The GM Goodwrench Delco 300 was won by Joe Ruttman. Underrated Truck Series driver there, Joe Ruttman. On this day in 1992, the Cup Series was here in Phoenix. Davey Allison won the Pyroil 500 as he tried to make a final assault for the championship in 92. We all know how that ended up. On this day in 1987, George Kent Jr. won a Winston modified race at Martinsville, the Winston Classic. On this day in 1987, Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka was won by Gerhard Berger. And let's see, on this day, as I'm almost done, in 1981, Cup race at Rockingham, the American 500 was won by Darrell Waltrip, as he scored the victory by leading 163 of 492 laps. He beat Bobby Allison to the checkered flag by only a couple of car lengths in a race that took 5 hours to run because it had 12 cautions.
Also, you can't forget, on this day in 1987, Suzuka became a Grand Prix venue for the first time. Nigel Mansell had that enormous crash in the S's during qualifying and was ruled out for the rest of the year. That pretty much gave Nelson Piquet his third and last world title, though his engine blew while running fourth in the race. Gerhard Berger and Ferrari won their first race of the season, with Ayrton Senna pinching second from Stefan Johansson on the last lap. That was on this day, November the 1st.
There was also a Japanese driver that scored a point that day, Satoru Nakajima for Lotus. Scored the final championship point that day. Michele Alboreto finished fourth for Ferrari. Wonderful name, Michele Alboreto. And Thierry Boutsen also got 2 championship points in his Benetton.
Did you see that NASCAR Chasm somehow got in the Goodyear blimp?
Oh my goodness, of course he did.
I believe he was up there for the ARCA race.
Oh my gosh.
And he posted a minute ago a photo of the command. And he said 7 wide again, oh my god. Because there was 7 of them in a line. 36 minutes ago of the command once again. Is this an a cappella group?
Oh dear.
At Xfinity Racing has just been a flat-out fun sponsor and account one more time as fast as Xfinity Internet, which we are about to get underway once again as the pace car heads into pit road and we're focusing on a team member. Woohoo!
We do have a bit of a shuffled up running order. Taylor Gray did hold serve and held the lead on pit road. Connor Zilich, though, with the number 1 pit stall, jumped up to second. He'll be on the inside of row number 1. Row 2 is Justin Allgaier and Sheldon Creed. Brandon Jones in row number 3 on the inside of Eric Almirola. Field into the restart zone. Green flag goes up in the air. We get stage 2 going, and it's an even start on the front row as Zilich will cut the dog leg almost all the way down to the inside retaining wall. His teammate Allgaier in his tire tracks, and it's Zilich hard into turn 1. He'll slip up the banking, but he'll have the lead from Taylor Gray. Zilich away with the lead off turn 2. The fight is on behind him for second between Allgaier and Gray. Sheldon Creed just in behind. Brandon Jones is there with Eric Almirola. Creed might think about trying to make it 3 wide with Allgaier and Gray in turn 3. Can't do it. Gray gets the drive off of 4. He'll hold on to second, but for the first time tonight, JT, it's Connor Zilich away with the lead.
Yep, and he goes round now, but we are 3 wide. Further back with Allgaier. Brandon Jones getting involved with Creed. It's lap 57 of 200. Connor Zilich is the leader. We've had 1 caution for 9 laps. That was the stage break. And 4 lead changes on board with Almirola looking ahead to this battle with Allgaier and Creed side by side. Brandon Jones just behind.
Boy, no one's stepping away from anyone else on this restart. Gray is all over the back of Zilich still. It is door handle to door handle stuff between Sheldon Creed and Justin Allgaier for third. Creed gets a good drive off the top of turn 2. He'll kick Allgaier back to fourth, and now Allgaier has to worry about Brandon Jones to his right elbow on the approach to turn 3. Eric Almirola and Nick Sanchez throw their hats in the ring in this what is now a 7-way battle for the lead of this race. Connor Zilich into turn 1 shows the way. In his tire tracks is Gray. Then comes Creed. Then comes Allgaier. Brandon Jones and Eric Almirola just about side by side off the corner for the 6th position, as now Allgaier once again puts the crosshairs on Sheldon Creed, and this time Jack off the top of turns 3 and 4. Allgaier's going to pass the 0-0.
Yep, Creed fading back just now to 4th position, but Zilic in a position he's become all too accustomed to in leading the race. So, and it would be his first win at Phoenix, but it looks like Allgaier is right on the back of him. I don't think he's going to be able to clear. No, he is going to be able to clear Taylor Gray. He's going to go for the high side. Up the track, I don't think he's going to make that work. That would have been one hell of a move, though.
That was a very optimistic move by Allgaier to try to go right round the outside of both Gray and Zilic in one set of corners. He still has not yet cleared Gray for that second position, although he does have a nose in front on the way to turn number 3. Gray slides up on the exit of 2. Allgaier will get past him. Now Gray is left vulnerable. To his inside comes Sheldon Creed on the way to 3. And Creed is going to try to take over that third position, but it looks like off this restart, JT, Justin Allgaier is seeing red. He is going all over the back of Connor Zilic now, his teammate. This could be a teammate and championship 4 battle for the lead. Allgaier drifts it up on the exit of turn 2. He's going to flare out to the outside of Zilic. He doesn't have room off turn 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Down the back straight we go. Still bumper to bumper. Allgaier goes down the outside a little bit, back with Almola and Gray. Gray is dropping even more. Across the line we go. They cut the dog leg a little bit, but just on the inside. They stay on the track. Another Championship 4 contender, by the way, Jesse Love. He says he feels like metal is rubbing on metal with the brake pedal, as here comes Allgaier on the inside of Zilic, side by side towards 3.
Yeah, Allgaier was able to open up the door to the inside of Zilic, and by the time they get to turn 3, he's able to blast his way through down the inside, and to the lead goes Justin Allgaier as he takes the top spot here at Phoenix on lap number 64. He led 130 of the 200 laps here in the spring, but came away with only a 5th place finish. He's looking for redemption here tonight. Allgaier goes to the front. And, of course, he has been so good here at Phoenix in the past. And now, Jack, with him in the lead, it might be a question of if anyone is going to be able to get around him for the rest of the night. Long way to go, but Allgaier at the front here, in control of the race, going to be a hard one to pass.
One thing we do have an update, there was a penalty on that restart, by the way. Joey Gase has been given a pass-through penalty for passing before the start-finish line. I didn't even know a Joey Gase Motorsports car could pass people, but that's besides the point. Allgaier leading over Zilic. You know, I'm just going to say it. Can we ignore Allgaier and Zilic because they're clearly going to dominate the race and just pretend that Sheldon Creed's leading? I like to let me live in my delusion.
Well, restart violations do happen a lot here with the way this racetrack is shaped at the start-finish line and how everyone cuts the dog leg. We did see a restart violation last night with Caden Honeycutt. We saw it with Joey Logano in the Cup race here in the spring, so no surprise there to hear of another restart violation. Carson Quaffle, who lost a lot of ground on pit road, trying to make it up here off the restart across the line. He's to the inside of Kyle Sieg. This is a battle for the 10th position. Quaffle will take it all the way down to the apron and beyond to try to make this pass on Sieg for 10th. He will do so. Now as he looks out his windshield, he's got another Sieg to pass. Ryan just ahead of him, running in the 9th position. For Justin Allgaier, we talked about how good he has been here. He's led 186 laps in the last 4 Phoenix races. He's at the front here. He's pulled away by about half a second on Zilic as everyone gets it ironed out off the restart. Sheldon Creed runs in 3rd. Eric Almirola has settled in line 4th. Taylor Gray, who was the leader on the restart and the Stage 1 winner, has fallen back to 5th. The rest of the top 10 is Sanchez, Jones, Love, Ryan Sieg, and then Carson Quaffle. Austin Hill, by the way, running for the Owners' Championship for RCR, has not broken the top 10 all night long. He's 14th. We have 27 cars on the lead lap as we've completed 68 of 200 laps in the race. We're on lap 24 of 45, JT, in stage number 2.
Did they put Austin Cindric and Tyler Reddick next to each other on purpose in the command? Now, up the inside, we have Love on Brandon Jones trying to make the move, isn't able to. Like, as he cuts the dog leg now and heads, isn't able to. He slides up the raceway though, very nearly taking out that 20 Menards car. Goes behind. Like, let's put the smallest person next to the tallest person and just not say anything.
Yes, I'm sure Tyler loved that. Well, restarts so often is how the races are decided here at Phoenix, Jack, and that restart was really good from Connor Zilic, but boy, you get the feeling that Justin Allgaier, he just has more experience around this racetrack than anyone else in the field, and you get the feeling if he can keep it clean tonight, he's going to be really hard to beat. And, of course, he won this championship last year, and they didn't keep it clean. He had a pit road penalty, he had contact on restarts, and he still went up there and finished second in the race and won the title. So, clearly the 7's going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah, it does look like the best car on this short run here. I think it will get more interesting, though, as the race continues. Once we get into stage 3, which is a much longer stage, I think it will get a decent bit more interesting as we see maybe some pit strategy come into play and see how Allgaier does in the long run. Here's Jesse Love, who is going down to the dog leg there. Gets on the inside of Brandon Jones, and is he gonna make the move? He nearly does. He has to back out of it.
Wow, he drifted way up. That was a fight for 7th. Drifted way up the racetrack, and Jones kept his foot in it around the outside. Your point about the stage, the length of stage 3 is well taken. First 2 stages are only 45 laps. The final stage is 110. So, final stage much, much longer than the first 2, and we'll see what kind of shape the race takes when we get to that final stage. As I said, 27 cars on the lead lap, the last of those being Blaine Perkins. The first car off the lead lap is Daniel Dye as Carson Quaffle, Jesse Love once again tries to make the pass on Brandon Jones off the top of turn 4. Love with a nose in front. He is now clear of Jones, so that puts Jesse Love up into the 7th position. He's 5 seconds off the leader Justin Allgaier, and JT, since we last checked at the front runners, Allgaier's really put a gap on Zilic, about 1.25 seconds.
Yep. As out in front, we are on board with Zilic looking ahead to Allgaier. They head across the line once more, and gap increases by nearly 2 tenths, but they have Zilic has pulled 1.5 seconds away from Creed in 3rd. So it's Allgaier, Zilic, Creed, Almirola, Gray, Sanchez, Love, Brandon Jones, Quaffle, and Ryan Sieg in the 41. Don't get confused, it is confusing, but yes. Where is Kyle Sieg? In 12th. Justin Bonsignor is up to 11th, by the way, Matthew.
Yeah, good rally from Bonsignor in that 18 car after having to start at the back. By the way, Jeb Burton did pull behind the wall after his contact with the wall in stage 1. He is out of the race. A moment ago, Sammy Smith with some contact with Christian Eckes off turn 2. Eckes sliding it sideways out of the corner, made a good save. And then not too long after that, Corey Day had a brush with the turn 2 wall. Now, this racetrack is so very unique. Mostly flat, but the 2 sets of corners are completely different from the other. And of course, you've got this big, wide main straightaway where you'll hear us talk about cutting the dog leg. And when we say that, I mean, JT, how many lanes are there on the main straightaway from the inside pit wall to the outside wall that these cars are free to go? I mean, is there 15 or 20 lanes, just about?
I mean, it is very wide, isn't it? And we saw 7 wide just at the end of that. And you could have fit 9, possibly. Just. But, yeah, it's now side by side. Almirola and Creed. This is Almirola trying to get up into 3rd. He's got his nose in front. He pulls clear of Creed. So Creed now down to 4th place. Lot of lanes, lot of opportunities which is what makes this circuit fun for a championship race. But we'll be heading back to Homestead, Miami from next year onwards. Maybe. Well, 2026 definitely. Don't know about future because a lot of things have been said about the future. I've heard 2027 Las Vegas. I've heard tons of other stuff, but we shall see.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, it will be a rotation. That's they said there's going to be anywhere between a 3 and 6 track rotation for the finale, but not sure that really matters anymore now that the playoffs are going away. When you have a one-race championship, it really matters where your finale is. Now that you're not going to get a one-race championship, and we don't know exactly what the system will be, but it does sound like it absolutely will be changed. Really just doesn't matter where the finale is. What matters more is the quality of tracks that you have in the final 10 for whatever your postseason will be, if there will be a postseason, which maybe there won't be, who knows. But yes, Homestead will host the finale next year. Sounds like, as I said, a rotation of between 3 and 6 tracks to host the finale in coming years. Phoenix will certainly be one of those. Homestead will be one. We have heard Las Vegas thrown out. I think we even heard Nashville and Charlotte thrown out even. But
not Nashville.
We'll see. We'll see going forward.
A good track, but not finale.
Of course,
unless you're an IndyCar driver.
Yeah, IndyCar finale has been there a couple of years in a row. They did say no super speedways and no road courses for the finale. But again, it doesn't really hold as much weight to be the finale anymore.
I've got this.
On the one race championship.
I've got an idea.
Okay.
Martinsville is the season finale. With a one, no. But yeah, get this. We bring back the one race championship finale. And we have Martinsville as the exclusively the Xfinity.
Oh Lord. You just want ultimate chaos, don't you?
It would be incredibly entertaining. Is that a Ford Alpha Prime car?
That's Glenn Reen, who Justin Allgaier gets around, and yes, Alpha Prime Ford being driven by Glenn Reen.
The future.
Maybe it is. Allgaier's also going to put a lap on Jeremy Clements here as well. And, of course, anytime a JRM car is in the lead, we do have to put a camera on Dale Earnhardt Jr. It is illegal if we don't do that at least once.
How much money gets paid there if it's $600 for the Fast Xfinity Mobile?
Where's my paycheck?
Boy, we need it sent quick. Let me tell you.
Xfinity Internet.
Oh, dear.
I'm going to miss that.
Allgaier, I don't think I will. Allgaier's got lap cars side by side in front of them. One is Garrett Smithley, the other is Josh Balicki. And Allgaier's going to try to cut it to the inside of both of them in one move while cutting the dog leg, as we are quickly down towards the end of this second stage. We're at 4 to go in the stage. And I mentioned at the end of the first stage, too, any positions that you can gain here to better your positioning for when you come to pit road, very important, and Jesse Love is trying to do that here by getting around Nick Sanchez right around the top of turns 1 and 2. Love swings it off the corner and gets past Sanchez to take over the 6th position. Carson Quaffle running in 9th, JT, and still Austin Hill outside the top 10 and 12th.
Yeah, so there's a quick update on all of your championships, of course, the owners and the drivers. We have all guys pulled out 3 seconds, by the way, on Connor Zillage. We are 3 to go in stage 2, but now we cut to Quaffle trying to gain another position, this time with Brandon Jones on his outside. Quaffle to the inside. This is for 8th and 9th into the restart zone and across the line. And it's Jones round the outside, clears Quaffle to take that position back, and this is perfect time for a replay of a little bit of contact. That looks like Day and Ekes, and Day just got into the side of Ekes, getting him loose.
Good save there by both cars. Of course, both of those have been very close to that turn 2 wall already in this stage. Love trying to pick up one more position before the stage ends. He's gotten around Taylor Gray. That puts Love up into 5th as Justin Allgaier has started the last lap of the stage with a 3 1.2 second lead on Connor Zilic. But Love has made that pass for 5th. That's huge for him, as he's been able to pass 2 cars before the stage has come to an end. But up front, it is Justin Allgaier coming off turn number 4. Green and white checkered flag is out. Allgaier is underneath at first for his 15th stage win of the season. Connor Zilic is 2nd. Eric Almirola is 3rd. Sheldon Creed 4th. Jesse Love 5th. Then Gray edges out Sanchez for 6th at the line, as Stage 2 comes to a close with Justin Allgaier in front of the field looking to go back-to-back as the Xfinity Series champion. Caution now comes out. JT with 90 laps complete, 110 left to go.
Yep, so still got more than half of this race to go. We should be going clean with around 100 laps to go. But I was going to say, for hopefully a good long green flag run, but it's Phoenix in the championship final. There's going to be cautions.
By the way, you just brought up, this is something that I've always wondered out loud. This isn't a major deal, but I've always just wondered about it. If you have a 200-lap race, why are the stages 45, 45, and 110 rather than just 50, 50, and 100? Does anyone have an answer to that?
NASCAR shenanigans.
NASCAR works in mysterious ways.
I've just always wondered, why would you not make it just even numbers like that? And it feels like every 200-lap race we have in the Xfinity Series, Phoenix, Dover, Las Vegas, Kansas, they're all 45, 45, 110.
Here's an
when you
idea.
could just easily make it 50, 50, and 100. But you know that I'm a numbers person, and that's just always boggled the mind.
Yes, but here's an idea. What about a 200-lap race being split in stages as 200? Just 200.
But see, here's the other one. Tomorrow, and the Cup races at Phoenix always have had 312 laps, and 312 is a weird number. But listen to the stage links here. 60, followed by 125 and 127. I feel like we could have done a better job there at just spacing it out. I feel like we could have done any number of things. We could have done 100, 100, and 112. We could have done 75, 75, and then what would that be? That'd be 162. But no, instead, we make stages 2 and 3 more than double, the length of stage 1. Again, I don't know if it's a major deal, but it just looks weird.
I bet you were, if for your numbers person, I bet you were one of the people who were very happy when the NFL score of 25-11 finally happened for the first time between the Eagles and Buccaneers in 2023 then.
Yeah, scoregami that. Still Joe with a really good comment. NASCAR and things making sense don't usually mix. Well
Good
done.
point.
So, here's the note from Xfinity Racing. 0 full screen commercials, 0 side-by-side commercials, 0 commercials in cautions. We might let them do a commercial in a bleep flag if it's like a long bleep delay, which you know what words I bleeped out. They both start with R. We had 2 of them yesterday, and the other R word being the weird water that falls from the sky.
We don't have to worry about that, not in Phoenix. Like now, if we're moving away from the one race championship, we might as well just keep Phoenix as the finale moving forward, because you never have to worry about rain here. Okay, I shouldn't say never. The Cup race here in 98.
Said it now.
I know. The Cup race here in 98 did get rain shortened, and the Cup race here in 2004 did have some rain to cause, I think, one caution and a delay of the start. But because, I mean, going to Homestead, you kidding me? Trying to dodge showers in South Florida? Are you kidding? Anyway, 90 degrees here tomorrow, the high in Phoenix, and a, quite literally, I am looking at it, 0% chance of rain.
Okay, I've got the Scoregami website up.
Oh,
and
of course.
It's this weird table thing. What am I looking at?
No, the
I'm
table is
assuming-
very strange. Yeah, the table, I cannot explain the table.
I'm assuming
I just
that
know when they
green
post that a
is-
final score is a scoregami, and, you know, we all go crazy about it.
Yes. Because why not? But it's the end of stage 2, Matthew.
Yes.
And you sound so happy that it's the end of stage 2. So
I just survive on a stage-by-stage basis.
yes, it was the National Saloon Stock Cars Shootout Series final today down at Vauxhall and Ipswich, and this is where I quickly go onto the book. Let's get the Toledo Saloon up, and where is it? 618 was your National Saloon Stock Car Shootout Series champion, and I see that two brothers are having fun following each other in. Absolutely amazing. Graham Chevel and Stuart Chevel Jr. 618 and 661, but pit stops are underway.
Need lateral grip, but I'm tight when I roll the ball. Do more of what you did last time. He said the 7 mate there's a lot better. We got to do something. Marty Lindley telling his driver the stop's going to take a little bit longer because we got to work on it. Top of your seat, Carson Quamble said it feels like everyone got a half-second faster. We got a 10 slower. I'm sliding the rear everywhere. No turn. Whatever we did, it was the wrong adjustment.
Well, some different strategies here, I would assume, as Jesse Love has won the race off of pit road. Surely they didn't gain 4 spots by taking 4 tires. Surely that's a 2-tire gamble there. Love off pit road ahead of Allgaier and Almirola. Connor Zilich lost a good amount of positions there on pit road, but that's an interesting choice there from Jesse Love's team. We'll see if it works out. And we'll look to confirm that they took 2, but I would imagine they did. But we'll look to confirm that.
Yeah. NASCAR Chasm once again with the 7 in the command earlier on. Why is everyone here suddenly learning that Austin Cindric is tall? It's been known for several years here that he could hunt geese with a tennis racket. Zillage lost 5 spots on pit road, by the way.
Yeah, just trying to cover my bases here and see if Jesse Love did indeed just take 2 tires.
Come on, NASCAR Twitter, you can do it. Please tell us.
I could just go back on the second screen here and try to get back to the pit stops real quick. But anyway, that's impressive if they took 4 and gained... they did. Wow. That was a 4-tire stop from Jesse Love, and they gained 4 positions from 5th to 1st. That is one of the best pit stops of the year. So Love ahead of Allgaier and Almirola off pit road, and I'm going to try to go back and also dissect what may have went wrong with Connor Zilich, because like you said, they lost a lot of ground on pit road. Just going back and watching it now. He slid into his box perfectly fine. No issue there. Oh, they struggled getting the right rear. They struggled getting the right rear off, it looked like. Then when they went to the left side, that threw the timing off just a bit. Yeah, it was, and well, slow on the left rear as well. So, off pit road, Love, Allgaier, Almirola, Gray, Creed, Jones, then Zilich, Bonsignor, Sanchez, and Quaffle. So up 4 for Love, down 5 for Zilich, and well, that'll be very interesting on the restart to see if Connor Zilich can quickly make up ground. He's going to have to be quick on it, though, JT, because if he wastes any time getting through traffic, Justin Allgaier is going to fly away from him.
Yeah, absolutely. As now on board, just under caution. Okay, I've turned the numbers. I've turned the count on the Scorigami website, and it makes sense now. I can tell you, and hold on. Apparently 120 games have finished 2013.
I can believe that.
179 games has finished 24-17. So yeah, not that bad. They've still got a lot of gaps to fill. So come on, NFL, get together. What is? I know you've got your Wide World of Sport tomorrow. What's coming up though in that world of American sport?
Yeah, right now in college football, Tennessee leads Oklahoma in the second quarter 10-7. Nebraska in the second quarter leads USC 7-6. Michigan at halftime with a 14-7 lead on Purdue. Ole Miss is ahead of South Carolina 17-7. That game is at halftime. Ranked teams in action today included number 1 Ohio State dispatching of Penn State 38-14. Indiana blew away Maryland on the road 55-10. Georgia once again doing what they seem to always do, playing down to their competition and just slipping by. They defeated Florida in the cocktail party 24-20. Texas over Vanderbilt 34-31. SMU upset number 10 Miami in Dallas 26-20 in overtime. Notre Dame kind of kicked a can around a little bit, beat Boston College on the road 25-10. Texas Tech over Kansas State 43-20. Texas Tech will host College Game Day next week when they play BYU. Virginia with a win in Berkeley over California 31-21. Louisville by a dozen on the road at Virginia Tech, and 26th-ranked Houston took just their second loss of the year, losing at home to West Virginia 45-35. Cincinnati's at Utah later tonight. Also, as we speak, 8th-ranked Georgia Tech leads North Carolina State 17-14. NBA today, a couple of finals. The Kings won in Milwaukee 135-133. And the Timberwolves won in Charlotte over the Hornets 122-105. In the National Hockey League, early finals included Boston over Carolina 2-1, Winnipeg over Pittsburgh 5-2, Nashville beat Calgary 4-2. In overtime, San Jose over Colorado 3-2, and in a shootout, Florida over Dallas 4-3. They have waived off the 1 to go, so they'll get 1 to go again, which means I'll give you the live scores here in hockey. Capitals and Sabres in Buffalo 3-3 late in the second. Montreal leads Ottawa in the second 2-1. Toronto with a 2-1 lead at Philadelphia in the second. End of the second, Columbus at home leads St. Louis 2-1. Minnesota in the second intermission leads Vancouver 2-1. And in Game 7 of the World Series, it is scoreless in the bottom of the second, but the Blue Jays, with 2 outs, do have the bases loaded. World Series champion will be crowned tonight after a frantic Game 6 finish last night, where the Dodgers held off the Blue Jays 3-1. Shohei Ohtani is the starting pitcher for the Dodgers tonight in that Game 7. Have I missed anything? Arsenal beat Burnley 2-0. Manchester United somehow found a way to not score a late winner and ended up settling for a 2-2 draw with Nottingham Forest. Chelsea
the 5 games in a row has been reset.
Yeah. Sorry, Jack. João Pedro got Chelsea past Tottenham 1-0.
I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Villa 2-0.
I'm told we were terrible.
Yes. And Real Madrid over Valencia 4-0. PSG 1-0 over Nice. In France, Bayern over Leverkusen 3-0. And Juventus was a 2-1 winner. And in MLS, I think that's a playoff series. Nashville leads Miami 2-0. Here comes the field into the restart zone. We'll get the final stage of the Xfinity Series season underway. Jesse Love, after a tremendous pit stop on pit road from his team, leads Justin Allgaier to the green. We are back underway with 98 laps to go. Leaders cut the dogleg. Allgaier got a great restart. Cannonballs his way in front of Jesse Love. As they hit turn 1, Allgaier will drift it up the banking. Love has to back out of the throttle. Allgaier is easily clear to the lead. Love will fall in line second. Almirola's third. Creed is fourth. Top of 3 wide is Connor Zilic. He gets by Taylor Gray. He gets by Brandon Jones, and he's out of the restart in fifth. And Connor Zilic needs to get pedaling here, JT, because Justin Allgaier has gotten to the lead. He's in clean air, and Zilic cannot afford to let him get away.
Yeah, absolutely. As we head now round, Allgaier in the lead, but he told his team, and he said that his oil pressure gauge just broke, but everything else is fine. There is no concerns. So in towards turns 3 and 4 one more time, and it's Zilic around the outside of Gray to take that position.
Yeah, Jack, I don't know if it's quite panic button time for Connor Zilic and his fans in that 88 team, but that has not broken well for Connor to lose that many spots on pit road, and then on the restart for Allgaier to quickly gain control of the race with Zilic back in traffic fifth.
Allgaier's just clearly got the best car tonight. He has been so quick all night, and I can't really see how he loses this at the moment.
Wow, and, too, this isn't really a Connor Zilic kind of racetrack, is it? These shorter, flat tracks doesn't fit his profile as much as certainly road courses or even the higher banked intermediate tracks. So Zilic struggling here. He was 16th here in the spring. And tonight, he's picked it up from 16th, but he doesn't have anything for Allgaier. And a moment ago, Jack, did he have some contact with Taylor Gray in turn 2? I think he did.
Yeah, a little bit of contact. I think he just cuts across Taylor's nose there and sent him up the track.
Spooky moment there for Zilic. Good save through the contact with Taylor Gray. At the front, it's Allgaier from Love. Almirola third, Creed fourth. Then comes Zilic and Gray. Over the line, those two in a fist fight for the 5th position as we're inside the final 100 laps of this season. Wow, who was that? That was Bonsignor cutting the dog leg and then flying back onto the racing surface as he gets by Brandon Jones. 3 JGR cars right together there. Gray, Jones, and Bonsignor 6th, 7th, and 8th. Zilic is putting the pressure on Sheldon Creed here, JT, in turn 3. Zilic does not need to waste much time making these passes because he's already 2.5 seconds behind Allgaier.
Yeah, he dropped back with the pit stops and has dropped back in this restart as well. Has Connor Zilic. He will look to the inside of Creed. Down the back straight we go in towards turns 3 and 4. The light starting to take over here in Phoenix. We look further back with, that's the 8 getting involved there. And the 39 of Carl C also as they all spark as they bounce between the banked part and the flat part of the infield at the dogleg and back up on there. Meanwhile, down the back straight, Creed still in front of Zilic.
That's about 4 cars under a blanket, and they may go 3 wide into turn 3. This happening at 16th. Kyle Sieg, Sammy Smith, Harrison Burton, along with Brendan Queen. Queen is ahead of the cars that run 3 wide behind him. This is a tremendous battle happening at 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, and Sammy Smith cuts the dog leg, comes up, nearly runs into the side of Harrison Burton. Harrison in his last race with AM Racing, and Smith is going to muscle his way past Burton, who slides it out of turn 2. And now Smith goes on the assault to the inside of the ARCA champion, Brendan Queen here, Jack. This is a really good fist fight, 4 cars deep.
Yeah, good battle here. Brendan Queen obviously running with Corlig. He is in Corlig obviously running their final Xfinity race. Now, they didn't say they're shutting the program down. They have said they're pausing it. I think that Corlig will be back as soon as Dodge is ready to re-enter the series, personally.
Chris Rice did come on Sirius XM NASCAR radio this week and basically said that without saying it, that they were pausing the Xfinity program, but they'll be back one day. And I think the wording that he used is, and you know what I'm talking about, which everyone leads to believe is him saying once Dodge is ready. Caution is out. Yellow flag is out. And Leland Honeyman is spun.
Oh, no.
Our spin has brought out our first caution for cause of the night. That was in the dog leg. Something has happened there to Honeyman in car number 70. But he's gone around, and that is a caution that Justin Allgaier did not want to see, but just about everyone behind him very happy to see because he was already starting to run away with things. But it's Honeyman in the Derek Cope family racing team car that has brought out the yellow flag with 87 laps to go. And JT, what's happened to Honeyman here?
Well, we are focusing on the start line. And watch the 17. Does he get squeezed and turned? Yes, he does.
Who's that car?
He gets turned by someone, but he goes spinning right through the dog leg. And we'll try and confirm who that car was. Was it?
Yeah, I cannot tell from either of those camera angles who that was. I know Connor Mosak is who Honeyman got spun towards, and Mosak did a good job avoiding disaster. I cannot tell who that was, though. That turned Honeyman around. We're at 86 laps to go now. And we'll see if anyone comes to pit road. Again, 4 sets of tires made available to these teams for this race. That includes the set that they started on. So they started on a set. They've already stopped twice to use up sets 2 and 3. So they've only got 1 fresh set left. So pitting with 86 laps to go, I wouldn't expect to happen. And indeed, pit road is open and all of the leaders, at least the front 5, have not come in.
It was apparently the 10, Matthew.
Daniel Dive, that would be. Now, we have had some drivers outside the top 5 come to pit road. Brandon Jones, Christian Eckes, Corey Day, Brendan Queen, Ryan Sieg, Kyle Sieg. Let's go to pit road.
Yeah, Jones just asked for a little bit more drive off. They feel like they're close enough through their fuel window that they can try to make this work. So they are going to be down a set of tires to the leaders, but nothing to lose for these guys. They can go for it if they feel like this is maybe a winning move for later.
So NASCAR have it down officially as the 10 on the laps and rundown. Matthew?
Yes.
Can we get a welfare check for Bob Potgrass, please?
Oh boy, what's happened there with Bob?
He forgot to switch the switch from ARCA and NASCAR Xfinity because apparently that caution was for Annunziata, who raced the 70 in ARCA.
Or it could be that he forgot to change the name because Annunziata ran the Martinsville race last week in the 70.
And that.
Yeah. It's funny for me that he drives the same car number in ARCA than he does in Xfinity.
Yeah.
Probably will next year too. Drive the same number car, but we'll see.
So the full list of cars who pitted: Jones, Ryan Sieg, Dave Smith, Eckes, Carl Sieg, Vetslav, Harrison Burton, Ellis, Paul, Queen, Perkins, and Lights. Connor Zillage still not loving how his car feels. I gotta do something because I'm bleeping slow. I can't roll the centre like these guys, and I don't know why. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me. That's
Let's quickly let's hear from some drivers who are talking now about remembering Xfinity.
Teams that bust their tails every week to get to the racetrack. You know, selfishly, I think it's the best series. It's where names are made.
Definitely the most, competitive and fun series that I've ever ran. We're truly gonna miss them.
There are so many levels.
Been some great Xfinity Series moments, and at least for us on USRN that we've had. Think of Tyler Reddick and Elliott Sadler at Daytona in 2018. Photo finish. As close as you can absolutely come. Reddick winning that race by less than inches. Another race that we had on our network, and what year was that? Good Lord, 2018, I think, when Jeremy Clements scored that wild win at Road America, racing with Matt Tifft at the finish. And they both spun on the coming to the white flag, but they were so far ahead of everyone else that they still picked themselves up and stayed in front, and Clements got the win. It's hard to believe it's been since 2015 that Xfinity has been the title sponsor of this series. 10 tremendous years for the series, a lot of growth for the series. Next year, O'Reilly Auto Parts takes over the title sponsorship of the series, and we've already heard this weekend that they are letting Cup drivers now, instead of limiting them to 5 races in this series a year, it's 10. If you ask me, it's a mistake, but we'll see how it goes. As the field did just get the one to go and went through the choose, it'll be Allgaier and Love on the front row, Almirola and Creed in row 2, Zilich and Gray in the third row. Fourth row is Bonsignor and Sanchez, then Quaffle and Hill. It's the first time Austin Hill's been top 10 all night. He'll be on the inside of row number 5. Justin Allgaier trying to become the 8th driver, as I mentioned, to go back-to-back as Xfinity Series champion, and trying to send Jim Pullman off with a championship, his crew chief, who will become the crew chief of Kyle Busch in the Cup Series next year with Richard Childress Racing. That's been a great pairing, Allgaier and Pullman. Perhaps they'll go out as champions tonight as a duo. Here comes the field into the restart zone. Green flag goes up in the air at the completion of the 118th lap. Justin Allgaier spun his tires just a bit. He and Jesse Love are dead even as they cut the dogleg, and Sheldon Creed wants to sneak a peek to the inside of both of them. Creed to the apron, trying to make it 3 wide. Eric Almirola harpoons his way between Love and Allgaier, but it's Allgaier off the top of turn 2 with the lead. Love will fall in his tire track second, side by side at third between Almirola and Creed. Then it's Zilich side by side at 5th with Taylor Gray. Into turn 3, Allgaier off the top of 4. He'll hold the lead. Love is second. Almirola and Creed are still door-to-door for 4th. Connor Zilich huddles up right behind those two, JT. Zilich, as I said on the last restart, he needs to hurry up and start making passes as Eric Almirola shoots it hard into turn 1 to try to get around Creed, but he still can't.
Yeah, absolutely. Almirola around the outside still of Creed as we continue now down in towards turn 3 and turn 4. Zilich will look to go up the inside of Creed, which he does now. Zilich has got his nose alongside. He will cut the dog leg the tiniest bit, and he'll try to pull in front of that 00 car, which he does. He does clear him, does Connor Zilich, and now Creed is 3 wide on the outside momentarily, as he's got Day and Gray behind him.
Yeah, Corey Day, who pitted under the caution, he's the first one out of the pack that pitted under the yellow on 4 fresh tires, and he is flying. 4 fresh tires means an absolute ton around this place, as Corey Heim showed us in overtime last night. So Day is rolling up into the 7th position. Meanwhile, further up, Eric Almirola is on the attack. He tried to pull to the inside of Jesse Love in turns 1 and 2. He can't complete the pass. He'll fall back in line as Corey Day, Jack, he really is flying. He's to the inside of Creed, trying to take over the 5th position. That 17 car is on the move.
Yep, I think by the next year we're going to get used to seeing him a lot more in that 17 car for sure. Day, I think he's been gradually getting better as the season's gone on. He started the season out, both in trucks and Xfinity, he's been kind of started out a little bit, is the phrase I like to use. Just kind of exists. Occasionally a little bit of a wrecking ball. But as the season's progressed, I've been really impressed with him, especially at Martinsville last week. I thought he performed really well, outside of being a little bit of a wrecking ball. But other than that, speed-wise, I thought he was actually really good. I enjoyed it, and I hope to see him also do a couple more truck races next year as well, alongside from what I've heard, it could be a full-time Xfinity seat with Hendrick.
Very young, 19-year-old Corey Day.
Oh, he's younger than me, jeez.
Let's check in on Carson Quaffle in traffic. He is in 12th. He's just in behind Ryan Sieg and Justin Bonsignor. Sammy Smith is there too, as Quaffle trying to cut his way through some traffic. He is the lowest of the 4 championship drivers. He's alongside Bonsignor on the exit of turn 2 here, JT. Both of those cars with orange stripes around them. Quaffle trying to make this pass as we're coming around to 75 laps to go.
Yep, Quaffle down on the inside. He will cut the dog leg significantly as he drifts back up in front of that 18 car and gets that position.
Full up into the 11th position now. as he tries to rally. As we said earlier, it's going to take a titanic effort from both Quaffle and Love to steal this championship away from the JRM duo. Right now, Love is deployed second just behind Allgaier, and he is ahead of Zilich, but Quaffle is languishing back in the 11th position. He's got Ryan Sieg ahead of him to try to move up into the top 10. Field coming out of turn number 2 into the setting sun on the west end of the speedway towards turn 3. As Quaffle has 3 cars just ahead of him running pretty tightly together in Gray, Smith, and Sieg. Sammy Smith off the bottom of turns 3 and 4, drifting up alongside Taylor Gray, the drivers that finished first and second at Martinsville last week, and now cutting the dog leg to drivers left of both of them is Ryan Sieg in that 41, and these 3 are going to stack it up 3 wide in a battle for the 8th position, and between the 2 cars, Sammy Smith comes off the corner, JT, and he's cleared Gray. Sieg will now try to get through the 54, and he will.
Yep, as we cut back to the leaders, because here comes Jesse Love. Justin Allgaier is being caught here by the 2 as we look a little bit further back to that battle with Ryan Sieg and Sammy Smith.
What do you think, Jack? Jesse Love, he's done better than I thought he would in the first laps off this restart, staying within arm's distance of Allgaier.
Yeah, it's just about getting past Allgaier, because he's so fast today. It's going to be so difficult to get past him, in all honesty. I think Zilich, I think if we get another caution, I think Zilich could get back in this, personally.
He is 2 seconds behind Allgaier as Zilich in the 4th position. Last time across the line, Allgaier and Love are only separated by 0.3 of a second. They dive into turns 3 and 4 here. Allgaier holding the bottom, so too is Love. Up out of 4 across the line, 130 laps go up on the board, 70 remain in this NASCAR Xfinity Series season. Give a shout out to Parker Retzlaff, who's had a lot of bad luck this season in that 4 car. He's just moved past Brandon Jones. Retzlaff up into the 11th position, trying to finish out his season with a good run. The young driver from Wisconsin that a lot of people have looked at as someone, boy, if he could be in good equipment, he could do some things. As Allgaier is starting to just leg it out a little bit on Love. JT, he's put a 10th on him each of the last 2 laps. It's now half a second the gap at the front.
Yep, just starting to pull away again is Allgaier as we head now. It's lap 132 of 200, about to be lap 133 of 200 as we cross the line. 67 laps to go here in Phoenix, and it's Allgaier, Love, and Almirola, your top 3. Here it is once again, Matthew, your favourite shot, because Justin Allgaier is leading.
They've actually picked out Danny Stockman while showing Allgaier. Danny Stockton is Jesse Love's crew chief. And, well, it would be a heck of a championship to win in a heck of a way for Jesse Love and Danny Stockman. They would book in their season with wins. They won the season opener at Daytona, trying to win the finale here at Phoenix. Of course, they thought they got a win on Easter weekend at Rockingham, where he was tremendous all day long. He was first to the checkered flag, failed post-race inspection, and was disqualified. Sammy Smith was given that win. But Love trying to get it done here tonight. It's a tremendous pit stop. Apparently, it was the fastest pit stop of the year from the 2 crew. The last time they were down pit road to get him from 5th to 1st. He's fallen to 2nd, but he's staying within arm's distance of Allgaier, refusing to let the reigning champion stretch the lead. Meanwhile, Carson Quaffle still trying to make up positions further back. He's got Parker Retzlaff right in behind him. He's just behind the Kyle Sieg machine. And a moment ago, Jack, perhaps Quaffle's had some contact with Kyle Sieg.
Yeah, I think Kyle Sieg said, "Don't cut down on me, mate." I think that's what the message delivered there was. Straight to Carson Quaffle's rear bumper. Parker Retzlaff, meanwhile, you said about him, he's had that bad luck. I think he's been about on par with where he was at with Jordan Anderson last year, in all honesty. Maybe a little bit off. I think he's been pretty close to where he was at. So this was meant to be a downturn in his career. He's actually made it work quite nicely. And I will say Cesar Baccarella said in an interview recently, he's one of the co-owners of Alpha Prime Racing, said that he thinks it's very unlikely that Retzlaff remains with the team come next year, because he thinks he's received some offers from some other teams. So I'll be interested to see how the career pans out for Retzlaff. I'm gonna say I don't think we'll be seeing him in Xfinity next year, though, to my understanding.
It was early in the season where it seemed like just nothing would go his way at all. In fact, he failed to qualify for the COTA race, but we'll talk about that later if we have an opportunity. But Jesse Love has loaded up a run to the back of Justin Allgaier at the front of this field, and Love is not letting Allgaier get away, as I mentioned, and in fact, JT, he might start taking the fight to him. Here they go, into turn 3. Love's going to swing it wide, try to use as much as the banking as he can, comes off turn 4, underneath the spoiler of Allgaier. We've got to fight for the lead of the race and lead of the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Love will go around the outside of Allgaier, but he'll look to the inside as Allgaier drifts up to the high line to defend. We've still got 61 laps in this, so it's not over yet, and Jesse Love has stepped up.
Yeah, Love, oh, here he goes. He's opened up the door to the inside of Allgaier on the exit of turn 4. Can't pull up alongside of him as they race their way back to the dogleg. Now, a reminder, this final stage took the green. What was it, JT? We took the green with 98 laps to go, was it? Fuel window is about 80 laps, and these leaders did not pit under the caution, so they may all have to pit under green here if we don't get a yellow soon enough. And that would really throw a wrench into the works if we had to come down pit road under green. Still a long way to go before that may happen, as we've got 60 to go in the race. At the front, Allgaier and Love tied together by a very short string. Almirola is 2 seconds back of them in third. Then it's another 2 3/4 back to Connor Zilic in fourth, Corey Day fifth.
Yeah, as round the outside now, Love tries to, as we are on board with Jesse Love. Across the line we go, and Love doesn't decide to cut the dogleg. They both stay up on the track, but Love is on the extreme inside, and he's closing up quite a bit to Allgaier. Love has got the pace here.
Well, they found something in this 2 car. The sun has gone down, the temperature has cooled down, so too is the track temp, and this 2 car has come alive. He is struggling off of turn 4, though, to clear Dawson Cram. He'll finally do so. That might have cost him a couple of feet, as Allgaier's gotten away just a bit. But Jesse Love, this is impressive, Jack. I was not expecting this in this run for Allgaier to have someone so close to him.
Yeah, very surprised to see how good Jesse Love's been doing as they approach the lapped car of Glen Reen. Love going high, maybe prioritizing at the exit maybe a little bit more. They also approach the, I think that's the 35 there in that bright green car, is it?
That is Clements in the 51.
Okay, never mind, it's the 51. I'm probably getting confused because Stefan Parsons ran a bright green truck last night, so...
Yeah, he did, yes. And
did well, actually. Fair play to him. Ran a decent race.
Also got Patrick Emmerling just ahead, as Love again closes right in on the spoiler of Allgaier. Well done by Emmerling. Gets out of the way of the leaders here. Lets them go to driver's right to get through. Allgaier will go to turn 1 with a lead on Love of about 3 car lengths. Love's going to climb the banking in turns 1 and 2. Again, this is a mostly flat racetrack, but there is progressive banking. Even though there's not a lot of it, there is progressive banking. At both ends of this speedway, especially in 1 and 2, you got 7 degrees of banking at the bottom, 9 degrees at the top. In turns 3 and 4, 11 degrees of banking, and Love is trying to use all of it to load up a run at Allgaier. As once again, they hurtle down towards turn number 1, 55 laps to go here. Jesse Love is just keeping Justin Allgaier honest here, JT. It's really impressive from Love, but does he have the stuff that he's going to need to make a pass on Allgaier over these last 55 laps, as he will throw it hard into turn 3, Will Love. Boy, does he drive it in hard.
Yeah, absolutely. But now with 53 laps to go, we have to start thinking about green flag pit stops. When will they start to happen? Estimated around 55 to 50 to go. Well, we're in the middle of that. So we shall see when they do start happening. But Love still, is he going to drive it hard in towards turn 3 again? He tries round the outside, didn't drive it in as hard as what he did last time by, as they complete another lap.
Meanwhile, Connor Zilich at 4th is making no gains on these top two at all. He's 4 seconds back. Carson Quaffle is fist-fighting Harrison Burton for the 12th position. That's about 12 seconds off the lead. He's nowhere close to these leaders. Here's Love down the back straightaway. In the tire tracks of Allgaier, they throw it into turn 3, both along the bottom of the racetrack this time. Allgaier will slide up about half a groove, but he stays ahead of Love over the line. 52 laps to go here in Phoenix, Arizona in this NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship race. Back to 1. Allgaier's got all 4 tires below the yellow line. Now he'll drift up a bit, but Jesse Love is 2, maybe 2.5 grooves higher. Here comes Love, slingshotting up out of turn 2, JT. He'll get a big run down the straightaway. He'll be close to Allgaier on the approach to turn 3 for the lead.
Gave him a little bit of a nudge in towards turn 3. He will now go to the inside line, isn't able to pull alongside. But Love is on a charge here, this number 2 car. It's 1 RCR against 3 JRM cars. And, well, he's making a name for himself, isn't he, Love?
Jack, you like what you're seeing from this 2 car? Because I am.
I'm liking seeing Love get aggressive. It's the kind of Love that I hadn't actually seen since his ARCA days. He was a decently aggressive ARCA driver. I still remember him annoyingly bumping Connor Zilich out of the way in 2023 at Glen, a race which Zilich led every single lap bar the last corner. So it's nice seeing him try to use the bump and run again. Because I feel like he's grown a lot. He's matured a lot, Jesse Loves, when he joined the Xfinity Series, that's for sure. And I like seeing drivers measure their aggression over time. Also, I'm watching the world. Oh, Mayer! Sorry, C.
Ryan Sieg spinning it hard into the outside wall at the top of turns 3 and 4. Oh, Ryan Sieg got turned around and he backs it hard into the turn 3 wall. Caution comes out. Second caution for incident of the night. It comes with 49 laps to go. And Ryan Sieg, who had such high hopes in this race at a track that he ran so well at in the spring, driving for Haas Factory Team, that car has been severely damaged with a rear impact, JT, into the turn 3 wall.
That is very, very second-hand 41 car. But
okay, he got wrecked.
Yeah.
He got turned. I'm being told he got turned.
Christian Eckes, I'm hearing. Let's have a look at the replay.
Oh, Eckes right behind him on the way to 3 and just bulldozed his way into the back of that 41 car. Wow. And we saw it last night. We saw 2 or 3 incredibly hard hits into turn 3. When you get turned around going into turn 3 here, it is a long climb up to the wall, and you don't hit it softly most of the time.
Yeah, good to see that rear crush zone doing exactly what it was designed to do, though.
That's a shame for Ryan, who just narrowly missed out on making the playoffs this year. Trying to hold on to a top 15 spot in the season-ending championship standings, but he might fall out of 15th here with this result. Dean Thompson could overtake him. There was 19 points separating Sieg and Thompson in that fight for 15th when the night started, and Sieg is upset, and he has every right to be.
Yeah.
Joe Srigley tweeted out my thoughts, in all honesty. He drove into that corner like it was still Sam Mayer in the 41.
Sieg with 3 top 5 finishes this year. And like we said earlier, everyone loves Ryan Sieg. He's been around for a long time. The season opener at Daytona next year will be his 400th start in this series. And that's a shame that his season has come to an end that way. As I said, 3 top 5s this year. One of them right here at Phoenix in the spring when he finished 4th. He was 5th at Pocono and Indianapolis as well. Pit road is open, and predictably, everybody is in here, JT, led by Justin Allgaier. Pit road has been huge and shuffling up the running order already tonight. Let's see what it does this time.
Let's cover those stops now, Dylan.
And Justin Allgaier and Jim Pullman expected to be freer on this run based on the changes they made last stop, and they were. Justin said they were almost a little bit too free. They'll make some changes there. Jesse Love said he was too tight on that run. Stockman is really, really cognizant of making him too free. Just a small track bar adjustment, Kim.
Bottom of your screen, Connor Zilic, a little frustrated, said, I don't know what more to do. I'm stuck. I need grip. We cannot lose position on pit road again like last time. Carson Cromwell at the top, not much different. Didn't turn better, still free off.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Love wins the race off from Zilic. Almirola. Allgaier doesn't come off until 4th. So Allgaier's dropped 3 spots. Love wins the race off. Zilic picks up 2. A clutch pit stop there when they needed it the most, Jack, from teams 2 and 88, and not for the 7 team.
Yeah, that's huge there. Zilic, he's got ahead of Allgaier, and now he has to stay ahead of Allgaier.
Love is ahead of all of them. Yeah, Allgaier, right side. They struggled with getting the right rear off. That was what happened with Zilic's last stop. They struggled just getting that right rear tire off. That throws the timing off for the left sides. And it wasn't the prettiest on the left either. Oh, boy. What? Possibly it's the final pit stop of the year for this 7 team. They've lost 3 positions, and it's going to be up to the driver to gain them back. 45 laps to go. It'll be about 40 when we get the green. Jim Pullman down off the box to get a look at the replay of the stop. By the way, let's see. We have a comment in the chat. Why was Sam Mayer suspended? Well, depending on who you talk to, either rightly so or not rightly so, for his actions of spinning Jeb Burton after the checkered flag at the end of the Martinsville race last Saturday night. I suppose I'll just keep my mouth shut on that, because is what he did, should he have been suspended for what he did? Yeah, probably so, but...
Who? What, Mayer?
Yes, but
yeah,
goodness,
absolutely.
Could Jeb Burton have ever made a bigger fool of himself that entire race? And Jeb is just... Jeb's attitude.
Yeah, I will say Mayer started that whole thing by punting Jeb out of the way initially, and Jeb gave it back. And Jeb's attitude, I'm not going to defend that, but I will say, why would you mess with someone that's got nothing to lose? Why start that sort of beef?
And as I recall it, it all happened in stage 1 on a restart when Jeb was on a tire disadvantage, and Mayer made contact with him, but a lot of people made contact with Jeb, and Jeb kind of got beat up on the restart on old tires, and he got ticked off at everybody, but for some reason he zeroed in on
a particularly hard hit from Mayer that sent him well up the groove.
So
that's why I think he was pretty annoyed. He also tried to wreck Sammy Smith the same race. But it's Sammy Smith, so I allow it. I'm still not over Martinsville earlier in the year.
So we'll see if we get one to go this time here, but also just a reminder, Eric Almirola came off pit road 3rd. He is in the middle of Love, Zilic, and Allgaier here, and Almirola racing for the Owners' Championship. Don't think that Eric Almirola will just roll over and let the Drivers' Championship take precedent. All of the prestige is in the Drivers' Championship. All of the money is in the Owners' Championship, Jack. And Eric Almirola has been hired to do the job here, because this was initially going to be a race that Justin Bonsignor was in that 19 car. But once Almirola won at Las Vegas, clinched himself a spot in the Owners' Championship 4, they decided to put Eric in the car to win the Owners' Championship because he won here in the spring.
And Justin's in the race anyway, because Sawalich is injured, so it all ended up working out, to be honest, didn't it? Ekes, by the way, on the radio, has just said, obviously did not mean to do that, just checked up early, that's on me.
Hard hit in the end for Ryan Sieg as his season comes to an end. Will this be the final restart of the NASCAR Xfinity Series season? 42 laps to go, and you've got 3 of the Drivers' Championship contenders all in a knot here, and 3 of the Owners' Championship contenders in a knot on this restart. Jesse Love is the control car. He's on the outside of row 1. To his inside, Connor Zilic. Row 2 is Allgaier and Almirola. They roll into the restart zone. Green flag up in the air. Jesse Love gets a really good restart. He's a nose ahead of Zilic. They all cut the dog leg. They flare out 3 and 4 wide further back, but up front, Connor Zilic throws it hard into turn 1. He'll drift up the banking across the nose of Jesse Love. Connor Zilic takes the lead. Love tries to counter back. Almirola and Allgaier 3 wide with Love. They all make contact but keep going. Almirola up the middle. He's past Allgaier. He may be past Love. He is. It's Zilic the leader. Almirola's second. Allgaier and Love are side by side for third. Sammy Smith gets into it. JT, a wild restart, and Connor Zilic has the lead.
But Jesse Love looking round the outside of Almirola. Allgaier looking on the inside of Almirola. Allgaier got a little loose off of 2, but he keeps it in the right direction. He's got Love on his outside. It was 3 wide, a little bit further back. Lap 161 of 200. Connor Zilic, your leader. We've had 4 cautions for 31 laps as we continue round. As we are on board with Jesse Love round the outside of Justin Allgaier.
Huge run for Jesse Love off the top of turn 2, and he motors around the outside of Allgaier and gets past him. That's a huge pass for Jesse Love to make to put himself into third on the road, second as far as the championship. Allgaier tries to counter back in the dogleg to the left elbow of Love. These two running side by side is exactly what Connor Zilic wants to see in his rearview mirror. Allgaier into 1, throws it down on the apron. Jesse Love keeps it loaded up around the top. Love's going to hold on to that spot, JT. That's a huge pass from the 2 car.
Absolutely, but next up he's got the 19 of Almirola. But Justin Allgaier is not done yet as we're through the restart zone. Let's have a look at this 3 wide moment with Love, Almirola and Allgaier where they all made contact.
How close do you like it for a championship, Jack? And it's not over because Jesse Love is trying to range up on the back of Eric Almirola off turn 2. He is underneath the spoiler of Almirola down the backstretch, heading to 3. Allgaier is also there. Connor Zilic not getting away at the front. Carson Quaffle still stuck in traffic further back. He's still outside the top 10, racing Harrison Burton and Christian Eckes. But at the front, it's Zilic, followed by Almirola, followed by Love. Then comes Allgaier. Those 4 splinter away from the pack, Jack. It was a tremendous restart.
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic restart. Inches from disaster as Jesse Love round the outside of Eric Almirola. Does he make the move? I think he'll just about clear him off the corner. Shall we have a look? No, not clear just yet, but I think he will be eventually. Jesse Love battling with Eric Almirola, a Drivers' Championship contender, battling with an Owners' Championship contender. Right here, and also I thought I'd add a little bit of storyline to the Justin Allgaier story. This is his crew chief, Jim Poleman's final race as crew chief of the 7 car. He's going to Kyle Busch next year, the 8. So obviously Allgaier does want to give him a send-off championship for sure.
Well, he's got 3 cars to pass if he's going to do that. Love has cleared Almirola, and despite those 2 running side by side for basically that whole lap and change, Connor Zilic has not pulled away. I think we've heard it enough tonight. Connor just doesn't love the way this 88 car is driving right now, JT. He's not been able to step away from the group behind him while they've been battling hard, and he might be left vulnerable to Love, Almirola, and Allgaier here as we only have 34 more laps to run.
Yeah, he hasn't liked that car at all, has Connor Zilic, but he's dealt with it, and now out in front by nearly half a second. We're on board with Justin Allgaier trying to get past Almirola down the back straight.
Allgaier in dirty air here. He hasn't been in dirty air a lot here tonight, and now he's got 3 extremely strong cars that he's going to have to get around, and he's got to do it in 33 laps. If you like math, Jack, that means he needs to make 1 pass every 11 laps. Can Justin Allgaier do it? First up would be Almirola.
I'm just watching this battle between Bonsignor and Carson Kvapil right now, actually. We've got a good battle going on here between a late model guy and a modified guy. Just ahead of them in Christian Eckes. Both of those two, Bonsignor and Carson Kvapil, champions of their respective divisions. Also, there was just nearly a fight in the World Series, by the way.
Yeah,
there was nearly a fight.
Definitely.
The umpire didn't get involved, there would have been. Hit by pitch.
Oh, well, that's great. In a Game 7, as up front, Zilich has Jesse Love by about, 4 car lengths there at the front. It's 1.3 seconds that separates first to fourth. Zilich to Allgaier. Brandon Jones 5th. Sammy Smith 6th. Corey Day 7th. Then Gray Creed and Kyle Sieg rounding out the top 10. But Connor Zilich, 10 times a race winner this season, having perhaps the best rookie season in all of NASCAR history, no matter the division. He's been just tremendous, a superstar in the making, trying to walk away from the Xfinity Series before he goes full-time cup racing next year with Trackhouse as the champion. But Jesse Love showed really good long-run speed on that last run, JT, to run down Justin Allgaier. He'll need that same kind of long-run speed to run down and pass Zilich over these last 30 laps.
Yep, he'll give it his best shot, Will Love. He closes up in turn 2 down the back straight. We go 30 laps to go, as you mentioned, down the back straight and towards turn 3. It is just these two. The next car behind these two is Almirola, around 8 tenths back, and then another 8 tenths to Allgaier. Love is still there 4 tenths back.
Yeah, this hasn't worked out at all for Allgaier, Jack. I'm concerned about his chances if we don't get another yellow. He's 2 seconds now behind Zilich and Love.
Yeah, I think Love is slowly reeling Zilich in. Remember, though, that Love has never won outside of a plate track. He has won at Daytona. He has won at Talladega. He did win at Rockingham before he was disqualified for an illegal suspension part. So, he's never won outside of a plate track. I'd be very interested to see if this is the night he does it of all nights, the most important of all. It's almost like a Daniel Hemrick situation, but not as big as that.
Well, remember how the Phoenix race here in the spring in this series ended, as Eric Almirola was able to muscle his way to the inside of Alex Bowman in the final set of corners, and then basically pinched him up into the wall coming to the checkered flag. Will we get a finish as dramatic as that here? Zilich and Love maneuver their way around the Glenn Reen automobile. Love is only 3 car lengths back as they both took it to the apron of 1 and 2. Now down the back straightaway. Jesse Love has the crosshairs set on the back of Connor Zilich. Love goes very deep into turn 3 that time, JT. He shaved a car length off the lead. Now it's only a car length, the margin, as they cross the line and hurdle back towards turn number 1.
Down in towards turn 1 and turn 2. We go. Love has closed up here. Love is going for the move. Down the back straight we go. Isn't able to pull side by side at the moment. But we head down in towards turn 3. Here comes Love round the outside.
Love goes it very wide in 3 and 4. Going to try to use that high side as he did so many times in his pursuit of Allgaier in the last run. He falls back in line behind Zilich, but Jesse Love is sizing up the race leader. Zilich is on the apron on the approach to 1. Love is some 3 grooves higher as they come out of turn 2. Now they'll crisscross positions. Love diamonds the corner. He gets alongside Zilich here. Side by side for the lead in turn 3. Door handle to door handle. Love deep into the corner. He drifts up. He pushes Zilich wide. Jesse Love takes the lead with 24 to go.
Wow.
What a move from Jesse Love. Connor Zilich isn't done yet, though, as he pulls to the inside. Not alongside at the moment, but he is once again eyeing up that move. 24 to go.
Well, he stared at the back of Justin Allgaier's car for so many laps on that last run, Jack, and he had to have been planning a move. Caution came out, and now on the laps on this run, staring at the back of the 88, and he's finally able to make the pass.
The bro code was put to the test right there, and I think it survived. These two pretty much best friends off the racetrack, despite being in opposing teams. Apparently, they met when Toyota decided to pay Zilich to do some go-kart, teach their young guys how to do go-karting. And bear in mind, Zilich was like in his teen, still a child at that point. And they apparently met through that, and they've been friends ever since. So it's been interesting watching two guys race each other who are best friends, but for opposing teams. But Jesse Love to the lead, and I think that might be it, unless we get another caution.
Well, and as Still Joe perfectly says in the comments, Twitter is warming up. The keyboards are getting warm. Indeed, people will freak out if Connor Zilich doesn't win this championship here tonight. He's still in position to win the Owners' Championship for JRM and Kelly Earnhardt Miller's team because the 2 is not in the Owners' Championship 4. So if it stays this way, we'll have a double championship celebration. Jesse Love will win the Drivers' Championship, and JRM and Car 88 would win the Owners' Championship. But Connor Zilich wants to win them both. But he's going to have to lasso Jesse Love in here, JT, and he doesn't have much time to do it, as we're going to come across the line, 20 laps to go, and Love is getting smaller and smaller out the windshield. The gap is half a second.
Yeah, the gap increasing. When will Zilich pounce? It'll need to be soon. He's on the extreme outside line is Zilich. Love on the extreme inside line. The gap closes a little bit as we head down the back straight in towards turns 3 and 4. We'll start 19 to go as Love crosses the line. We'll see what the gap is, Matthew.
So Love across the line. His lead now is still at half a second. Zilich cut into it by a very small margin, about 6/100ths of a second. 19 laps to go. Jack, you mentioned that these two are the best of friends off the track. As Nick Yeoman just put it on Twitter, can you stay best friends with someone who won 9 fewer races than you but stole the championship from you? That's what Jesse Love has a chance to do in 18 laps time.
Oh, man. It's going to be interesting to see these. I mean, obviously, they're not going to be racing each other as much next year. I know Connor wants to do some Xfinity races. Love wants to do a few Cup races again. So we'll be seeing them race each other a little bit. I'm just excited to see, like... And also, I don't think race wins should matter towards the championship. I'll stand by this. I don't think they should matter as much. Because ignoring the playoff format, you have to remember that Dale Earnhardt won like 4 fewer races than Rusty Wallace one season and still won the title. So, there's that.
Yeah, Ryan Newman won 8 times in 2003. Matt Kenseth only won once, and Kenseth won the championship.
Where was Newman in that championship?
I think he was 6th, I think.
There you go. He was just inconsistent then.
Yeah, very.
Rocket Ryan Newman.
Here come the leaders off of turn 4 across the line one more time. JT, Justin Allgaier's shots at this championship are all but done unless we get a yellow. He's still 4th, but he's 4 seconds back of this lead duo. And for Connor Zilich's efforts, he's now fallen into the clutches of Almirola more than he is in the line of Jesse Love.
Yep, passes the 07 lapped car. Does Connor Zilich, Patrick Emerlin in that one. Good point here from Kelly Crandall. JBMotorsports put 3 drivers in the championship 4 and lost to Joe Gibbs Racing driver Ty Gibbs in 2022. Jesse Love and Richard Childress Racing are 15 laps away from doing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly right.
Did Zilich hit the wall there?
No,
a little loose there.
He just got a little bit twitchy.
Giving it all that he can. Can confirm Ryan Newman did finish 6th in that championship in 2003 as Jesse Love works his way around Josh Bilicki and Jeremy Clements. Lapped vehicles that he gets around in one move. That was huge to get around those 2 cars very quickly. Time is running out for Connor Zilic here. He's fallen now nearly a second behind Jesse Love as that red and white number 2 heads towards turn 3. Still a good amount of traffic in front of him here, JT. Going to need some help from these guys to get out of the way. There's plenty of room to do it. Garrett Smidley will do so this time. Dawson Cram will likely get out of the way of the leader by the time they get to turn 1.
Yep, down in towards turn 1 we go. The 74 out the way on the high line. As down the back straight we go. He's still not clear. Is Connor Zilic on that lapped car now? Jesse Love goes up the inside of the 5 and puts another lapped car in between himself and Zilic. That gap has now gone to a second, Matthew. This is where lap traffic plays into it, and that might be game over if we don't have another caution.
And the championship fight may be at the second position between cars 88 and 19. Again, the 2 is not in the Owners' Championship. The 88 and 19 are. So Zilic and Almirola, this is not just a fight to finish second in the race. This is now a fight for the Owners' Championship between these drivers and cars. That is JRM Chevrolet against a JGR Toyota going for the Owners' Championship. And as they go to turn 1, JT, that's a very small margin between those two. It's only about 2 car lengths, maybe 3.
Yep, Justin Allgaier has just dropped down to 5th. Brandon Jones up to 4th, so that's worse for Allgaier. It was already over at the moment, but that just makes it even more over. Carson Quaffle all the way down in 15th, by the way, on board with Alec Almirola, looking in front to Zilic, and Almirola has closed up to Zilic and he's going to try to make a move, but there's lots of lapped cars in front of them. As Jesse Love puts another lapped car, Vetslav, in between him and Connor Zilic. We are inside 10 laps to go.
Jesse Love less than 2 months away from his 21st birthday. A former ARCA Menard Series champion, a former ARCA West Series champion. He's climbed the ladder. He's been methodical in doing so. He's 9 laps away from a championship. Meanwhile, the Owners' Championship might come to grief here in turns 1 and 2. Almirola's on the apron. He's to the inside of Zilic. They will just about go side by side down the back straightaway. JT Almirola's going to try to force this in and make the pass to put the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota in front.
Almirola gets in front. He takes second away from Connor Zilic. Zilic's down to 3rd. And that is a change in the Owners' Championship. But here comes Zilic up the inside once again.
Zilic can't give it up here, but he might not have anything left to fight Almirola. Almirola stays clear of him out of turn number 2. Zilic might have one final shot if he can make a dive into 3. Almirola does give him room on the bottom, but Zilic just can't get that 88 car to rotate. We're down to 7 laps to go. Jesse Love is driven away by 1.3 seconds. Again, lapped cars in front. One is Leland Honeyman. The other is Joey Gase. Those two are running side by side. They'll try to get out of Love's way as best as possible. Wow, Honeyman's just about come to a complete stop to get out of his way. In fact,
Honeyman's, I think, a lapped car.
Honeyman may have hit the wall even. Boy, and remember, with 3 laps to go last night, we had a lap truck with a flat tire hit the wall to bring out a late caution. We'll watch Honeyman and make sure that he can stay on pace. Love has 6 laps to go. He cleanly maneuvers his way around the brightly colored 53 of Joey Gase. And now, Jack, Jesse Love is nearly there, just praying that everyone on this racetrack can keep it off the wall and keep it pointed the right direction, because from now, Jesse Love is 5 laps, 5 miles away from a championship.
I will add that if he doesn't get the owners and he doesn't get the drivers, at the very least, Connor Zilic will get the Rookie of the Year title.
Yes.
Over cars. He will at the very least have that. I think that that's something to take away from this year for sure. It's been an incredibly impressive rookie season for Connor Zilic, who I'd say is alright, I guess. I think he's earned his way out to Cup in just 1 season, personally. I know it's hard to say that a guy can earn their way to Cup in 1 season, but I think Connor's absolutely done that. I think he's been performing exceptionally well, and I'm excited to see him with Trackhouse next year.
Well, he's a superstar in the making. He won 10 times this year. There was a stretch of 18 consecutive races where he finished in the top 5. It's one of the greatest seasons, if not the greatest season in Xfinity Series history, but it doesn't look like it's going to close with a championship because now JT, Jesse Love, clicks off another lap. 197 are in the books. 3 remains. All he has to do is make 2 more laps to get to the white flag, and then it'll all be official.
Yep, he will go on the inside of another lapped car. That's the 35 he gets past now. It's less than a handful of laps. There's Richard Childress, team owner, watching on. 2 laps to go as he crosses the line. 2 laps for Jesse Love. 2 laps left of the Xfinity Series as a whole.
His lead on Eric Almirola is 1.3 seconds. Almirola has nearly a full second on Zilich in third. Allgaier has fallen to 5th. Carson Quaffle is languishing back in the 14th position. He hasn't had it all night in the 1 car. Here comes Jesse Love off turn 2, motoring down the back straightaway, trying to hustle back to this white flag. He started the year with a win at Daytona. He might be about to bookend the season with wins and a title. Here he is, off turn 4, white flag in the air. Jesse Love has started the last lap of the Xfinity Series season. A 1-second lead on Eric Almirola. More importantly, a 2-second lead on Connor Zilich, his closest championship pursuer. Love cleanly clears turn 2. Lapped car of Anthony Alfredo just ahead of him. He doesn't have to worry about him. Everybody loves a Cinderella story. Everybody loves an upset. But this love story of the 2025 Xfinity Series season is complete with an upset championship for Jesse Love, who wins the race and the NASCAR Xfinity Series championship. He upsets JRM to win the title in Phoenix. What a moment that perhaps he couldn't even have dreamt of. He was the underdog coming into this championship race, JT. He had his other 3 combatants were all from the super team. 2 of them were the dominators of this series. He's beaten them all tonight. And Jesse Love is the Xfinity Series champion.
What a season we've had here. Eric Almirola, by the way, in second, takes the Owners' Championship, Matthew. So that's all wrapped up as well.
First Drivers' Champ for RCR since 2019, which was Tyler Reddick.
Yep. Just a point here from Jeff Gluck, which we should all think about, but don't hate the player, hate the game with everything, with the championship playoffs as well. But Jesse Love, your 2025 Xfinity Series championship, he'll burn it down. On the front straight, he'll park it up against the wall and will burn it down. Jesse Love is your 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series champion. He's really burnt it down, hasn't he, on the front straight? His car full of smoke, champion flag out the window. What a season for that 2 team. What a pit stop.
Yeah. Yeah, pit crew was on point all night long. Wow. Jesse Love, the Xfinity Series champion. Danny Stockman is crew chief. A championship 2 for Richard Childress Racing. They don't get the Owners' Championship with Austin Hill. They do get the Drivers' Championship with Jesse Love, who celebrates here with his crew and media members around here on the front straightaway. His second win of the season is what gets him the championship here tonight in Phoenix. And again, it's Eric Almirola driving the Joe Gibbs Racing number 19 Toyota to the Owners' Championship, passing Connor Zilic in the late laps. So Junior Motorsports denied the Drivers' Championship and the Owners' Championship. Wow. But here's the celebration moment for Jesse Love, JT. Let's listen in as he climbs out as a champion.
This season at Martinsville, but nothing trumps this. Celebrating a championship.
Shit, brother. Fuck yeah.
We apologise for any language that may have been heard there for down there with Jesse Love. But let's go down and speak with him.
Here in Mobile One Victory Lane, Jesse Love embracing his dad, Duke. He's talked about the influence his father has had on him. His girlfriend Georgia's gonna come in for a kiss. Jesse Love, first-time champion. Congratulations, you are the NASCAR Xfinity Series champion for 2025. Jesse, this has been the dream. What does this mean for you? What is the emotion right now?
I feel so clean, relieved. It's been a tough year for me, and man, I've just put so much work into it, and people like my dad and Scott Speed and my whole 2 team have worked just as hard for my dream as I have for my own. So, man, thank you to Whelan. For one last time, this car was fast as Xfinity Mobile.
He said it.
It really hasn't set in yet. I tried to just tune out all the emotion. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real at all.
Let's talk about that pass over Connor Zilic. We've documented the friendship between you two. You had to pass him, though, in order to win this championship. Walk me through that.
Yeah, he's my best friend in the whole world, but not when we're racing each other. And we race each other hard but fair. And yeah, I knew I had to take it there. I knew he was going to put on my door. I knew I had to throttle up and just try to get my nose ahead. So yeah, here it is. I mean, he was running a really good race. My car was just better tonight and allowed me to roll the center and get off the corner better. I knew he was tongue out and wanted this, and hats off to the 88 team and Connor for all they've done this year. But tonight's about my guys. I can't even believe it,
It wasn't necessarily an easy race. It was a little bit of a roller coaster. We didn't see you out front till the end there. How did you keep your head in the game?
We were so bad to start. I couldn't believe how bad we were. I mean, we were awful. And Danny put one of his magic wrenches in there and we came to life. So, man, I'm just so grateful for everybody at ECR, everybody back in Welcome, North Carolina, Marty Houston, all the boys, Chevrolet. I'm forgetting a laundry list of people, but this means the world to me and everybody that's been on this journey with me over the last few years and especially the last probably 8 months or so. I've really tried to just rebuild myself and come back better. So I feel so just clean and relieved.
Congratulations, you've etched your name in the history books in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Thank you.
Not only does he get the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship and the trophy, he also gets $600 because he said the thing.
I don't know. In their last race, they may just add another 0 to it. Maybe a $6,000 check for it. Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking with Justin Allgaier. This is going to hurt a lot for the folks at JRM to not get either championship. Let's hear from Connor Zilic here. I think we're going to hear from him.
Him and his dad, and obviously looking at Connor Zilic right here. Emotional as well.
Down to Dylan.
And it's a 3rd place finish in the race today, 2nd in the championship for Connor Zilic. The emotions were obviously high. How do you evaluate tonight and ultimately just this season, despite coming up short of the ultimate goal?
Yeah, I mean, I came into the weekend and I told my entire team we got to give it our 100% this week, and
as long as we walk out of this place knowing we did that, I'll be proud of us. So we did that today, and you know, we fought all day long and threw everything we had at it, but you know, unfortunately our WeatherTech Chevrolet, we just didn't quite have what we needed. But it doesn't take away from anything we've done this year. Our car's been as fast as Xfinity Mobile all year long, and I'm so proud of these guys. But yeah, I don't know, I guess the lights were too bright.
Experiencing the highs and lows of this moment, there were a lot of both. How much did all of that play into the emotion that you felt at the end of the day today?
Yeah, man, it's just you work all year long and you bust your ass for 33 weeks, and you know, I feel like we've done the best job we could all year long, and yeah, we just didn't have it today. So you know, I'm so proud of this team. We have nothing to hang our heads about, but yeah, this one's gonna sting.
Well, you can see how much it means. Ultimately, Connor Zilic still puts together an incredible season, but one spot short of the championship.
At least he was still as fast as Xfinity Mobile, though. That's the main thing, right? Right?
Well, we can all feel bad and heartbroken for Connor Zilic. It is okay. He dominated the season and didn't win the championship. We can all feel bad for him. But he, as well as everyone else, knew how to win this championship and knew the rules on how to go about it when the season started. He was not robbed of a championship. He just didn't win it. Although I do enjoy the line that he just gave there. Guess the lights were too bright. We know how that term has been making its rotations around social media about performing when the lights are at their brightest. So, Jesse Love still accepting the congratulations as he becomes the Xfinity Series champion for 2025. And an incredible achievement for this young driver who has won a lot of races in the past. As I said, an ARCA champion just a couple of years ago. He'll be back in this two-car full-time in the Xfinity Series next year, so he'll go after defending his champion. He'll try to become the 8th driver to win back-to-back Xfinity Series championships. Justin Allgaier was trying to do it last year. Well, this was an amazing drive by Jesse Love here tonight, guys. And Jack, we noticed it on the second to last run of the night when he was sticking with Justin Allgaier. That was really impressive. And then he did the same, sticking with Connor Zilic and eventually passing him. Impressive.
Yeah, hell of a drive, Jesse. Like, easily one of the best drives I've seen him pull off in his racing career so far. Like, nothing I can do to take that away from him. It's a superb win for Jesse. And hey, he did a Tyler Reddick. That is Austin Hill, I think.
Yeah, that's Austin.
Congratulating him. Austin, you still ain't got one of these. I had to get my dig in, I'm sorry.
Yes, and everyone is now upset on social media.
I see your post has been making the rounds from yesterday, Matthew.
Yeah, and everybody's losing their minds, but you know, once again, the sun will still come out tomorrow. It'll rise from the east, it'll set in the west. Earth will still spin. Life will go on.
I think Love arguably just had the best drive of his career.
Oh, absolutely he did. To beat Connor Zilic and Justin Allgaier heads up on this racetrack when both of those drivers at times in this race was in control of the race. And the pit crew was spectacular as well with great pit stops. Total team performance here tonight from this two-team, and Jesse Love wins the championship. You know, and all of the talk about young up-and-coming superstars in this sport. Maybe we need to talk more about him. I know all the talk this year has been about Connor for a good reason, but maybe we need to talk more about Jesse and when is he going to have a chance to get to the Cup Series and become a superstar?
He will be. I think he's a Cup guy in the future. I'll be shocked if he spends more than one more year down at this level.
Yeah.
I think Kvopel's a possible Cup guy as well. He just needs, I don't know. He just needs some more time to adjust to the series. I think Kvopel will be a race winner by the end of next year, though, because of course he was the one guy who was, for the most part, a bit like Ankrum last night, a complete non-factor. Gets out of trouble though.
Wow. Replay of the burnout that he did. I mean, just whipping it around with media members and crew members down there.
The most safest thing ever, definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm just trying to get something at the moment, Matthew. I'm gonna play it through my microphone, and I'm hoping that this will work, and I will even sort stuff out to make it work on the Discord side. Are you saying that
the sun will come out tomorrow?
Yes, the sun will come out tomorrow. Let's hear from Justin Allgaier real quick.
That last set of tires was really, really loose, and you know, I think that's the hardest part, right? We made a really good adjustment on that first pit stop, and you know, I wanted to send Jim Bowman off with another championship. I mean, he's been an amazing part of this journey and got me my championship last year. Just felt like we did all the right things tonight, and we still came out of here really short. So disappointing. Disappointed to see Xfinity go. You know, they've been a great partner for our sport for a long time, and we were as fast as Xfinity, but in the middle of the race is not when we needed to be. But hats off to the whole 2 team. I mean, Jesse's did a great job. Danny and his whole team, you know, they were great. Connor obviously had a fantastic year. Just bummed the way that it ended, but still, we're so blessed to do this and be here. And I couldn't ask for a better team. So we'll move on and go to Daytona in the beginning of the year. And it seems weird this is the last one, but we'll go make the most of the offseason.
You touched on it, but you're parting ways with crew chief Jim Pullman. He's moving up to the Cup Series. As you think about your time together, how has he made you a better driver?
Oh, it's understated. I mean, he's developed me into a better person, a better human being, and just the prep work and how I see these races before they ever even start, right? It's a really important piece of this. And you know, I think, you know, mentally when you're in the game and you're prepared, you have all the tools you need, and he's been able to give me those tools. And you know, I told him earlier in the truck, we had a moment in the truck, and I said, you know, I'm most proud of you because you've proven to the world what you're capable of. It's gotten you the opportunity to go do what you're going to do, and I have no doubt they're going to make the most of it.
Justin Allgaier and the team finishing 5th, not quite enough though for that championship.
So he still managed to get his $600, but it just wasn't when he needed it.
Right.
That's like saying that you're due a payment, but it's a day before you get paid. Anyway,
we're about to have now the championship trophy presentation as Jesse Love has parked his car underneath the Xfinity Series championship trophy. His team has gotten on the stage, and we are ready to officially crown Jesse Love champion of the NASCAR Xfinity Series for 2025. Gonna climb out of the car for a second time, JT. Here we go.
Once isn't enough.
Didn't need the steps. Here's Carlo Metz.
And what an incredible race by Jesse Love, celebrating with his owner, Richard Childress. The 6th championship for RCR. Jesse Love gets it done. He's the 4th driver to win a championship from California. The 5th from RCR. And as Jesse gets the congratulations, and gets his family settled and his team. I'm also joined on the stage now by Matt Lederer, the Vice President of Comcast and branded partnership in the last year for the Xfinity Series as the title sponsor. Also joined by NASCAR President Steve O'Donnell. And Steve, I think Jesse looks like he might want to get his hands on that trophy. Will you do the honors?
Yeah, first I want to say thank you to the folks at Xfinity and Matt for an incredible run. Jesse, we'll get Jesse's attention here. Incredible victory. You started off the season at Daytona. A bookend clutch victory tonight to win the 2025 Xfinity Series Championship. Richard Childress, the whole team, the folks at Chevrolet, thank you for representing our series in a great way. Bright future, and we're honored to have you as our champion.
Gonna make our way over here. Jesse, you've had a few minutes to let the emotion settle from your burnout to here. Does it feel real that you are the next Xfinity Series champion?
Okay, well, you saying that helped a little bit, but it still hasn't sunk in. The whole time I was like, just get ready for the caution, just get ready for the caution. I couldn't believe it came out. I think my spotter, Brandon Manesh, was as shocked as anybody because we were all waiting for it. And man, I still can't believe it. I'm just so grateful for everybody in my car. My pit crew was just unbelievable tonight. They blanked everybody. And man, everybody that's touched a hand on this car to get us here, and everybody I've ever raced for in the past, just thank you 1,000 times over.
You told us earlier in the week Phoenix Raceway was one of your favorite racetracks. You had the most experience in NASCAR here with ARCA and the Xfinity Series together. How much of a favorite is this place now?
It's definitely still my second favorite to Dover. But man, I'll never forget my first time coming here and watching Alex Bowman run the Tommy Baldwin car. Me and my dad were up watching the middle of 1 and 2, thinking, one day maybe we could just turn a lap around this place. And now we're Xfinity Series champions. It still doesn't feel real. I've never had a feeling like this before. Maybe because I've tried to see what it was going to feel like all week, and now that I'm here, I just can't believe it.
How big of the celebration going to be tonight?
I don't know. I can talk about it.
All right, let's talk about the celebration, at least with Richard Childress, the owner here. You certainly were not an underdog, but you were the lone wolf, the only non-junior motorsports driver in the championship field. How proud are you of your driver tonight?
Yeah, I'm just proud of our whole team, our whole company. Everybody put so much in this. Jesse just did such an awesome job all night. We struggled at Martinsville, but he came back today and showed what we're made of. Proud of them all.
RCR, iconic to the sport and just everything that you've been able to do in the Xfinity Series. This is your 6th championship. What does this mean to this team and for RCR as a whole?
It means so much for everyone. Willen that's been behind us, Jesse's from the start, have our sponsor doing it, and all the people that supported us. Just a great evening for everyone. Good to be happy.
Let's go ahead and get Danny Stockman. He's on the phone right now. Can we interview you? What's the emotion right now? We know how hard you and the two team have worked all year long, but what does this feel like right now?
It's just special. You spend your whole life and you spend every day trying to make these cars turn left fast, and we've been working on this piece for about a month and a half, and we spent a lot of time at the GM simulator, and when it all comes together like it did this weekend, it's very special. And there's a lot of people that I got to thank. First off, Wheeling and RCR for having me back. I spent 12 years of my life there. I love Richard and Judy to death, and it's just special. Danny Lawrence, everybody that believes in me to do this, and especially Jesse Love for just flat getting up on the wheel and getting the job done tonight. So thank you to all the race fans out there for coming out and supporting us. I hope you enjoyed that show.
We've enjoyed your communication between you and Jesse on the radio all season long. Describe your relationship with this guy, and then how this championship
This is the man.
Cements
the
that.
man.
He's my kid. I mean, I just truly enjoy raising these kids up to being something special, and he's another one. I've had the pleasure to work with some really good race car drivers over the years, and Jesse's right up there with one of the specialist ones. We have a special bond that that not too many people get to endure in their life. And when it all comes together like it did tonight, it's just super special. Last week we struggled really bad in Martinsville. We put that behind us, and I just had a feeling when I woke up Monday morning that we were going to come here and dominate like we did. We had the best car in practice. We qualified decent. The first run of the race had me caught off guard, but we worked on it, and he got up on the wheel, and we got it done. So it's pretty awesome.
Congratulations. The moment feels just as big as imagined for this two-team tonight. Jesse Love, your 2025 Xfinity Series champion.
Right, Matthew.
Yeah.
You know the NASCAR paddock better than me. Alpha Prime versus Alpha Prime. Please explain.
I saw this just now.
Yeah, I don't know what was just going on down there.
That
Apparently,
was Tommy Joe Martins.
was it Tommy Joe?
Tommy Joe was the guy on the right wearing the black shirt.
Okay, so
He looked
so
like he was having a go at one of his own crew chiefs.
well, that's the second most amazing thing that's happened to him this weekend, second only to getting into a Twitter fight with me last night. But anyway,
I need to see that. Where?
I'll send it. I'll send it behind the scenes. He wasn't appreciative of my thoughts of his, but whatever. I just, I'll get into an argument with anyone this weekend. I don't care. What do I care?
Can I add a little... Oh, wait, hold on. We'll get Carson's interview.
The championship for ultimately all night tonight. No, it didn't end how you wanted it to, but how would you sum up just this whole experience of getting to race for the ultimate prize in the Xfinity Series?
Yeah, I mean, I can't be thankful enough for everybody that gave me this opportunity. Johnny Morris, Bass Pro Shops, Clearance Technologies, Logistics, Roto-Rooter, Carolina Carports. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few, First Bank of Alabama, but just can't thank everyone enough that jumped on board this season and made this all happen. Obviously, it's a little tougher for me to get this opportunity, and I need some people behind me, and I just can't thank all of them for that, and everyone over at JRM for what they do to give me this opportunity. But I don't know, we just fought a little bit of a handling all day, and the first stage we had our hands full, but we drove up from 14th to almost 5th, and we finished 6th there, and I thought we were gonna have a really good chance at it. Just didn't seem like we made it any better from there on out, and it seemed like the other people were able to make their stuff faster and better, and it was just a struggle on that end. But just can't thank all these guys enough for what they do to give me a car as fast as Xfinity Mobile, and can't thank Bass Pro Shops and Johnny Morris and Clearance Technologies. It was cool to have all those guys out here today and supporting us trying to win the championship. So hopefully next season it can be a few spots better, and hopefully we can be in the Final Four again to have this opportunity. But it was a fun run, and I had a really fun rookie season.
And I know that this year had its challenges simply because Connor was your teammate and he was having such a great rookie year. But your performance in making the championship four earned you a full-time ride next year. How does that make you feel when you look back on things?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's really what like we said, that they got us the opportunity to run again next year, and we were going to be part-time, which was going to be cool, and we were going to try to fill it out with a maybe back Parker team or something, and just make it all happen. But once we were able to advance to the Final Four, we were able to get the funding to make it full-time next season, whether it's in a few cars or in one. Either way, I'm going racing full-time, and I'm happy, and I'm racing with JRM, so that's the main goal. But like I said, I just can't wait to go hopefully do this again on repeat and just a few spots better next year.
A great rookie campaign for Carson Quapple. Comes up a little short tonight, but nothing to hang their head about.
Yeah, no.
They tried to win the race. It's what they're supposed to do. Matthew Owens 2025.
I always say, as a race car driver, you're in the wrong sport if you're not trying to win the race.
And Tommy Joe didn't like that, but I still like Tommy Joe.
I mean,
Martin.
Tommy Joe's the guy who, let's be honest, Alpha Prime's not gonna. They might win a race next year if they're going to Ford. They might win a race next year.
Yeah.
And I'd be very happy for them. Big fan of Tommy Joe, so.
So we will wrap things up here, guys. been a fun Xfinity Series season. It was the first time that we here at USRN decided to cover the entire Xfinity Series season. Huge thank you to you guys at JBM for making that possible. What's your takeaways from this Xfinity Series season? I'll start with you. I will start with you. Easy for me to say. I'll start with you, Jack.
What specifically about the season?
Yeah, just your thoughts on the season.
I think we've had a superb season. In all honesty, I think we've had some really good races, some really good finishes. Yeah, I have a lot of comments. I've got, like, firstly, obviously, congratulations to 3 different people. Firstly, the 19 team on their owners' championship. That's where the money is. Zilic on winning Rookie of the Year. Massive congrats to him. That's still a really good accomplishment. I think it would have been an absolute travesty had he not won Rookie of the Year, in all honesty. That was the one I was hoping he would get. I didn't care about the championship as much as everyone else, so. And also, obviously, congratulations to Jesse Love. There's a photo of him as a kid working on an engine. I feel like a failure now. The other things I've got to say is I'm happy to see a few more of the guys back next year. I'm happy to see Kvapil back next year. I've heard a rumor that Brent Cruz might be going full-time next year. So I'll have a new favourite driver to root for after Zilic leaves. That'll be something for me. Yeah, overall, I think it's been a fantastic season, and I can't wait for next year in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. And I hope that that JBM is as reliable as O'Reilly Auto Parts.
And Jesse Love will look to defend his title. JT, what'd you think?
Well, it's been a good season, hasn't it, here in the Xfinity Series? I do have the stats for you. 68 people voted, 57% said Zilic was winning the championship, 28% Love, 13% Allgaier, and 2% Quaffle, even though he was 15th.
Y'all put Love over Allgaier? Damn.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done
race was 44 votes. 41% said it was good. 36% said meh. 16% said bad, and 7% said epic. This season, 43% good, 21% bad, 18% meh, 18% epic. That was out of 28 votes. And 58 votes rate Xfinity as a title sponsor. 55% said good, 17% said meh, 17% said epic, and 11% said bad.
It clearly weren't as fast as Xfinity Internet.
No. Matthew?
Yeah.
You like race names, don't you?
I do.
What was the longest at NASCAR Xfinity race name we had this year? Was it? I think I might have found it. Okay. What about this one? Welcome to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series for the North Carolina Education Lottery 250 presented by Black's Tire here at Rockingham Speedway. Or welcome to Nopes. Because why? Because yeah, they've shortened it to that. Anyway, good season. You enjoy going to bed. I have to be up in 4 hours to go to Brands Hatch, but I'm not going to bed because I need to prep for Cup. Because of course I'll be at Brands, so I can't prep for Cup. Yay.
Well, guys, this was fun. We did a lot of Xfinity Series races together this year. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. And we will go our separate ways for tomorrow. I will say this.
Your own way.
I will say this is my last race on JBM this year. A huge thank you to everyone that makes that possible all season long. It's been great fun. And we'll hopefully be back next year if you'll have me, and God willing. But
no.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm not well liked. I'm certainly not well liked right now in the comments. It doesn't sound like, because Connor got robbed and all of that. I mean, he did have the lead within the last 30 laps. Could have just kept the lead, but he didn't. But that's.
Is this the perfect time to say it's easier said than done, Matthew?
I mean, he had the lead. He could have kept it. He would have won the championship. NASCAR didn't make him drive with his hands tied behind his back tonight, and he had to drive with his knees.
Yeah. And there's
But anyway.
Probably a good time to mention that next up for Love, Super 2.
He had,
True, yes.
He had more wins and top fives than anyone. That should count for something. That's what I've seen. Well, it did in 2003. And maybe it will again next year. I don't know. But it doesn't this year, does it?
All I ask, can I just ask NASCAR one request before we end this broadcast?
Okay.
Okay. I know it's going to a new format next year. If we're doing the 3-3-4 format, I have one request. Get rid of winning you're in. Please. I hate that so much. It's the one. Look, I'm fine with the playoffs if we get rid of winning you're in. Genuinely, I'd be much more okay with it if winning you're in didn't exist.
We'll all find out together in the coming weeks, I'm sure.
And we'll see the reaction on Twitter. Get your popcorn out, folks.
Oh, absolutely.
And Matthew Owens will get destroyed on Twitter yet again.
Sure. What do I care? I don't care what people think of me. Anyway, well, it's been a fun season. Glad everyone has been along for the ride. Hope you have enjoyed it. We certainly have. And we'll be back tomorrow, of course, for the Cup Series Championship race on JBM and on USRN. So we'll say goodnight from Phoenix, and we will congratulate the winner of the race and the winner of the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship for 2025, Jesse Love. We will also congratulate the Gibbs Racing in the 19 car as the Xfinity Series First Championship. We'll see you tomorrow for the final NASCAR race of the year. Until then, good night from Phoenix.